You're here, man. Every fucking beginning of the show, you're the guy to
Talk
come
about
up
your
with a fucking
life.
joke.
That's a joke.
Really? Talk about my... Okay. You know what's a joke? You don't having a fucking beard anymore. You look weird.
As soon as I cut my beard, you couldn't wait to just get there and just
Yeah,
stroke it behind it. You love that stubble just against the nape of your neck right
Nape of my neck.
there.
Fucking nasty, dude. Hey, what's up, party people? Welcome to Enter the Realm, episode 39, the Realm of Collectors video podcast. Joining me tonight is the Jackal squad and a very special guest for our Batman Vs Superman Dawn of Justice spoiler show. We're gonna do
Spoilers.
We're only doing three
Spoilers.
spoilers, right?
We're gonna do some of our normal stuff to open the show, and then we're gonna get into some heavy spoilers for Batman vs Superman. So beware if you haven't seen the movie and don't want it ruined. Spoilers. And I
Don't
think
dip
I'll
out
probably
yet,
say
though.
that.
Don't dip out yet. We're not talking about it yet. Stick
We'll
around
let you
for
know.
it.
Yeah, we'll
Right.
let you know when we're going into spoiler mode.
That's right. So, going across the bottom of my Google Hangout screen, which I did notice the other day has nothing to do with what y'all see on the screen there, but our very special guest for the evening, Mr. Bobby Skullface, is up first.
What's up, everybody? Glad to be here. Thank you for letting me come on.
No problem, anytime. Up next is my very own Thunder Thief, Dan.
Harvey, Lois is the key. Dent. Back in action.
That's right. up next is the man who doesn't like my new nicknames, Jay Ruse.
Yo, Blaster in the house.
All right.
You notice how he moved all the way to the side so he could show off the dog?
Show off his baby. Look
Come
at
on.
the little pooch. Pooch.
Coming up next, we have Mr. AKA himself.
Yo, master in the house. You put those two together in some form, you'll get it eventually.
Blaster Master.
It's Blaster
What?
Master, yeah.
It's Master Blaster, but it's cool.
You guys better get started on your costume for TFCon.
He's just gonna hop on my shoulders, like the little man that he is.
My goodness. Up next is Silver Age, AKA, that's Mike.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show.
Victory Saber 77, James is with us.
What's
Hashtag
up?
patience of a saint.
The patience of a saint. Wait a minute. What's going on over there?
I try.
What are you rocking on there, buddy?
I'm rocking. Let's see. By the way, I'm in the nice comfort of Darth Maul's lap right now.
Hey, speaking of Darth Maul, kind of sidebar here, I finally watched that Darth Maul, like, the fan film.
Fucking awesome, right?
That was really fucking well done. And I watched Kara, too. I was in a fan film kind
Which
of
is the one that J. Roos tried to like womp when he said, "Well, you could see the
That was the Darth Maul.
makeup on his head.
Well,
Oh,
you
no,
could,
yeah. You could see the pores in his fucking face at the
It's
end.
HD, motherfucker.
yeah.
Enjoy it."
My name is Chris. I'll be somewhat trying to steer this fucking ship full of maniacs tonight. Let's get into some what'd you get? Bobby, what'd you get this week?
I got the fucking SH Figuarts Yoshi, thanks to Jay Ruse. That was in Jersey, and I was trying not to spend any money, but he kept pressuring me. And
I mean, Mario can actually ride on him.
I think that
Who the
was
fuck is Mario?
I think that was the one before you were like, I was like, all right, I'll go over there and see, and you're like, it's a good price. I was like, okay, I'll go over there and see, and you're like, and he can ride Mario, and I was like, all right, which table is it? And you're like,
That's what that was all about.
and then you were like, if you give me the money, I'll just go get it for you, and I was like, fuck. Like, I should have held out just one more time, seeing if you'd just paid for it for me. And I definitely would have been.
I saw that transaction going on. I said, "What the fuck's going on over here?"
Yeah, I didn't have the intention to spend any money, but yeah, I got that, and then I got some comics. Shout out to Travis. This guy has hooked me up. Like, I don't know, I owe him a lot of, like, but he wouldn't take anything. He's hooking me up with all these like Star Wars Dark Horse EU stuff. He was like, he saw the Cribs video and he was like, yeah, I want to fill out your collection, man. I want to get rid of some of my stuff, so. All I'm paying for is shipping, and he's just hooking it up. So I got a box full of those. Yeah, very.
Must be nice to be a celebrity.
Yeah, stop it.
Nobody's sending me free comic books.
Yeah, and then.
But if you want to send us free comic books, feel free.
And then I got Shockwave and.
Great, isn't he?
And I think that's it. You know what's funny is I haven't even touched him yet. Like I haven't even opened the box. Like it's in the dining room table. And I know I have to do it this week but Tyler let me hold Generation Toys Bulldozer, and I wanted to get that done and then packed up and safely back to him as soon as possible. So I just haven't had time to open it yet.
Don't worry, he'll touch you. In all great ways.
I did get to mess with him a bit at Jersey. Shout out to Hung to Go and 215 Toys. Like he took real good care of me there, and
Yeah, that's good people.
and I got to kind of muck about with one, and I'll reserve mine,
Oh, he let you touch it, huh?
so to speak.
Oh, he wasn't letting. Oh, that's my buddies. I can't let anybody mess with
Well,
that.
it wasn't. That is true. That is true.
Mhm,
All right. So let me defend his honor. Let me get.
Man,
let me
it
get
must
him.
be nice to be a celebrity, dude.
Stop it. I'm going to put my armor on for a minute and just try to explain that. So I asked him. I was like, let me take a look at this, and he was like, oh, it's not mine, man. And the guy who it was standing right there.
Ah,
And he
okay,
was like,
his buddy.
yeah, and he was like, no, let him have it. And I was like, cool. And then I think he asked me if I wanted to transform it. I was like, no. And then he took it. His buddy took it, and then I came back with it transformed. So I got to see it in both modes. And
Awesome. I guess it was cool because he had it next to like the Quake Wave, so everybody could see like a comparison, right?
yeah,
there.
he had it next to the translucent one, and then like the darker purple one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I'll reserve my thoughts for.
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings. It's mixed feelings. It's just like everything else, right? Good. There's some good and some bad. But I'll tell you, man, Hung is a good dude, man. Like,
Yeah.
It is funny to hear people come up and ask him if he's hung, but
First name well.
It's funny, his name's Hung, and you were talking about him having a clear one and a purple one, so I don't know what he's selling at this point.
Maybe he's got a clear one on the purple one.
He's selling molds.
But he was fucking with me all day. Like, I can't keep my mask on like all day long at those things because I can't. Like, I'm literally, like, you see the computer, like I'm about a hand's length from it, and I can barely see it. So I can't like conduct business in it and stuff. So I had to take it off. And somebody was like, "Is that Bobby Skullface?" And he was like, "Yeah, man." He was like, "Ugly motherfucker, isn't he?" And like, I looked over, and he was like, "Well, he's been hanging out with me all day, so I feel like he's gotten like a little bit prettier." And I was like, "Is that how it works?" I was like, "Your dick getting bigger or what?"
Yeah, he's a funny dude. He's a ball buster, man.
Yeah. We were just cracking jokes all day long. It was a good time. And then seeing you guys and fucking, got to meet some new people, like people I communicate with, and it was good. Good times.
All right, so Dan, what'd you get?
Okay. I actually got quite a bit of shit. A whole bunch of stuff came in. I got a Figuarts Krillin, which shout out to Asian Kid Matt because he helped me find that. Thanks, guys. I got this guy, Figuarts Beerus, which I'm really happy about.
Yeah, your 800 likes it.
Figuarts Trunks, and then I got this guy right here, who I gotta say, fucking magnificent.
I'll be honest with you, Dan. There's just something about the color.
Dude,
What's it
makes it look sissy, dude.
What's it remind you of, Jisk?
Oh, I mean, the color just makes the dude look soft. Like,
He's reading a script.
that dude makes lambs look dangerous.
Yeah?
Am I going more?
Oh yeah, you're definitely going down.
Yeah,
the
you're
line.
going.
And again, we were talking about the color of the figure.
Dude, that dude looks like he's gotten down on a pottery wheel once in his life. He seems like the type of character that Alfonso Ribeiro would play on a sitcom. I gotta scroll down. I was going nuts the other day. Oh, that shockwave can probably hydrate your skin and cleanse your pores. When you pull the trigger, swans appear at your doorstep.
That's one of my favorites.
What else did I have? I wrote a whole bunch of them down.
This is another reason why I couldn't sleep the night before NJCC.
That shockwave is the poster child for hurt feelings. Let's see here. What else did I put? He looks like it looks like someone took a Quake Wave and marinated it in Johnson & Johnson products. Let's see. He's the patron saint of tenderness. And they also call him, and the Decepticons call him the Merchant of Cuddles.
Yes.
I think that was it.
I think that went back and forth for what, like 40 minutes?
Yeah. There was a lot of them in there. Dude, the best one though, Chris to me had the best one, and I'm gonna read it right now. Where is it? It's God, I gotta find it. Because I want to read it exact. Oh, I put he can relax a girl's hair.
Yeah.
He looks. This is what Chris said. Chris says he looks like the color of flowers you give a girl because the pussy was good.
Sheesh.
Which fucking killed me.
And on that one.
Oh my god.
All right. So moving
So he's
on
soft.
down.
That's all we're saying is he's soft. That Shockwave's soft.
He's great, though. He's fantastic.
So moving down the line here, J. Ruse, what'd you get?
So yesterday, NJCC hooked me up with the light blue Sphinx.
And you already broke it.
Nah,
He hooked them up with a sphincter.
pretty fucking good. Now I can get rid of invisible. And
Hold on. Don't bullshit. You're not getting rid of invisible. You don't get rid
I'm gonna put them in a box and
You're gonna put them in a box, and then you're gonna put them on the pile on top of the extra devastator.
talk about selling them. Yeah. And then I also got my masterpiece Shockwave. Smaller than I thought it was gonna be. But
Now I can see why everybody was arguing about scale.
yeah, I mean it's a little small, but hey, he's really posable.
Let's see that lighting effect.
Yeah, he's got the clear hands and the clear gun. Just
Shout out to Takar.
masterpiece.
Shout out to Takiri.
So I think I might stick with my fans toys because he's so small. All right, that's it. That's all I got.
All right, AKA, what'd you get?
Dude, I got, what did I get? My second MP Prowl. And that's it. Well, you guys know I'm getting a mode, I'm just going G1, Season 1, Season 2, and movie bots, and I'm doing an alt mode and a bot mode, and so I got my alt mode.
So let me ask you a question about that. I don't know why I haven't thought of this before. Are you okay with one of your two, especially on like the Autobot cars, one of the two being one of the KOs, like for the car mode, for example?
I mean, I would prefer to have it the legit one, but yeah, I'm ultimately okay with it.
Total legitness.
Yeah.
All right, Silver Age. It's your turn. What'd you get?
Yesterday, NJCC, I also picked up the light colored Sphinx. Got that at 215 Toys. Yes.
It's your second time owning that now.
Yes, when I bought the first one, I had a big drop, and then the bullshit happened with the car, and I just fucking freaked and just bought that one off me. And I don't know, I wasn't 100% in on it, but after not having it, I was like, yeah, I gotta have it back. So when I saw the lighter color, I love this box design. It's a great fucking throwback, I really like that. And then I picked up a couple of prints from this guy. What the fuck's his name? What the fuck?
Think about it.
I think Robert something. I don't know, but he's Skullface. I picked up.
It's Robert Boneface.
Boneface. The best thing about it was something I never seen before, and he told me that was an exclusive joint. So I hope I was okay to show that.
Yeah, it was funny, man. Like I was like, like when you, I think you were the only one that brought it right up, and I was like, oh man, that one's not even like out yet. Like I haven't put it out on the website or promoted it yet, because I have stuff like all this stuff that I post the art-wise that I'm like inks next Friday, colors next Friday, et cetera, et cetera. Like that stuff is like 6 to 8 months old. Wow. Because I have it all lined up so that if I want to take a month off, I have stuff to kind of content-wise to kind of keep posting. So like I think I have 3 pieces done that haven't been posted, like a Star Wars one that I showed Chris actually.
Oh, dude, Bobby, I gotta, I won't go into detail about it, but holy shit, it's exhausting. I watched you do it, and I'm tired for you, brother.
It's busy. And then I have a jazz, and then I have one other one, I think. And
well, so I hope I didn't let something out of the box.
No, it's all good. And then I have 3. So each one of those is 3 weeks of posting. So that's 9 weeks that I'm ahead of the game, kind of.
Awesome. Yeah, so the plan is I'm going to do something with buying a big frame and have them all set up and do something. I wanted to get some stuff at TFCon, but of course on the plane you're worried about it,
Yeah.
And I did accidentally, I think, ripped you off there, man. So I owe you $1.
That's all right.
I grabbed 2 of the mass prints. So
Or you can just bring them in. I
You
told
can
you
just
this.
mail them back to him.
Yeah, I'll mail it back. And I'll mail it back in fucking pieces.
It's gonna be a beard now. Or send it to Pinkerton and have Pinkerton send it to me and see if it survives Pinkerton's mailing process.
Oh. What's funny, Bobby, is I've sent you stuff.
Yeah, and I told you, I
Several
made a
times.
note to say like it was without incident.
That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so James, what'd you get?
I got nothing.
Oh,
That's sad.
whoa, the good.
What about that chair you're sitting on?
Oh, I've had this since it came out for a while.
I tried to give you an out.
I don't know, man. You
Yeah,
could have
I
just
know,
grabbed.
but-
You could have grabbed anything off the fucking wall behind you and said, "Hey, this is what I got today."
Yeah,
I'm
but
glad-
saving
I'm
the
glad-
money for the ECCC.
Oh yeah.
There it is.
There's the noise.
There's
the
Maul
noise.
letting out some gas.
So let's see. I got a Coppola again, thanks to Dust. On his I'm not gonna get these figures clearance sale.
Yeah.
Gave it to me for a steal. I couldn't pass it up, and I regretted selling it because I really did like that figure. And
And I'm sure 3 weeks from now I'll regret selling that one too.
well, maybe I'll sell it back to you for
Yeah.
We'll just move it back and forth as we each need 150 bones or something. So we'll just move it back and forth. And I picked up a Legend Shockwave. Actually, I gave it to my kid, but pretty cool little figure. Transformation's a little lousy in gun mode, but
That one's actually bigger than the masterpiece.
yeah,
Probably.
it scales well with like Onslaught. It looks really good. I mean, it doesn't really make any sense as far as characters go, but the gun mode looks really good with him. And I got something that came in like right after I left my house today, but I'll save it for next week.
I also forgot to say I got that Star Wars Force Awakens
Oh, I'm getting that tomorrow.
movie.
Yeah, stay with me.
And not to bring it up again, but as I've watched it now a couple of times, Finn drives me nuts. I hate that character. The more I watch it.
I like the character. I don't like some of the dialogue.
Got a boyfriend? Cute boyfriend? That's
Yeah, but you know which one.
Dude.
Did you see that? Did you see that?
But I will say that the special features on it are definitely cool. There's like an hour-long documentary about the making of it and stuff. They don't really go into too much detail, but it's cool. I recommend watching it.
So you just got the the TV
Yeah,
download or whatever?
Yeah, I buy because everything, for me, it's all
That's great.
digital.
Because
So,
because if Apple puts it out, I'm getting it.
not that Apple put it out, but I bought it on iTunes.
Well, you know what I mean. If it's,
Oh,
an
I've
Apple-
got
if it's an Apple version on
you hate
iTunes,
that.
it's on the.
I've got the Deuce Milo Deluxe Edition, but no,
Was it on VHS?
it's actually on Laserdisc, but it's a special format of Laserdisc that only Ace can explain. And if you say it's the wrong
Betamax.
thing, he'll make sure to tell you. No, shout out to Ace. He hooks me up with a lot of stuff like that. But nonetheless, I will buy the physical copy because I'm still one of those fucking people. I got the despecialized versions of the original trilogy, and I have yet to watch them.
When did
On
those come
Blu-ray.
out?
Actually, I won those in Jacepticon's drawing.
Yeah, I
Oh,
didn't know they were
those
out.
were out yet.
Yeah, they're BR-Rs or whatever, recordable Blu-rays.
Oh, they're bootlegs.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well, no. It's the despecialized version.
Yeah, well, there is like a despecialized version.
Yeah, they're supposed to release that at some
Oh, well,
point.
Disney's supposed to do it.
apparently this person painstakingly took like every form of media where this had been released and cut together the best of everything. Laserdisc, everything.
I wish you could get like a somewhat special edition.
kind of
You know what I mean?
almost there.
Marginally special.
Yeah, like I'm okay with them adding a few TIE fighters, but let's let Han just fucking cold-bloodedly kill Greedo.
How about
So,
in the ballpark,
Are
especially?
we talking about like like 800 on the SATs special? Or?
Yeah, like
Okay.
slightly better than average. version.
Right. So we want like a B plus. We want the B plus version. We don't want the A
You got his
version.
name right.
Who's the
Which
version?
You got his name right on the SATs.
Yeah.
Right.
But no, I don't want it. I don't want it. I want a few bells and whistles. Just like I don't need the whole symphony.
I just want the bells. You can keep your fucking whistle.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
one
exactly.
bell.
As long as they keep that thing.
like when they open up like the Bespin and you can see like ships floating around in the sky behind them, like I'm all for stuff like that. But like the Jabba scene with Han Solo
walking over
stepping
the
on his
tail.
tail,
Oh, that is awful.
you can lose
That
that
is
one.
awful.
The Muppet Show at Jabba's Palace, you can lose that one. Ooh, shit, Jabba.
You don't like that guy scatting? Come on.
Oh, I wanted to hear like coming from the right side, you know, and it was.
I will say
wasn't
this.
Jabba. I wanted to hear the guys up in the fucking balcony.
I will say this about The Force Awakens is somebody had taken a photo of Maz and put it as she was the mother from Golden
Oh,
Girls.
God,
Yes.
that was
And now I can't unsee that every time I see it.
And shout out to Estelle Getty.
It's Sophia.
Hey,
That's all I see now.
Pinkerton, do you have a Slave Leia? Hasbro Black Series?
You know what? I sold mine when I purged my stuff last summer for idiotic prices when I should have held on for 6 months. And I saw her. She was a shell former for
Yeah, big time.
And as soon as they announced that, she was gone.
Yeah, I just grabbed one this week. I forgot to mention that because I was so worried that we'll never get another one.
I mean, I passed on those at $11.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, guys? I do have 2 Power of the Force Slave Leias.
You can get money for those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. It's the only 2 figures in the set of 200 that I could get some money for.
So all of a sudden, he went from telling a joke to slightly interested now.
Yeah.
That's an opportunity.
All right, guys. I'll be back in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, not huge money, but I mean, there's definitely people out there that are trying to grab all that shit now.
So you're not going to get any Chris Pinkerton shoe flip money. But,
No shoe flipping. We're not flipping shoes here.
you know, hey, you flip whatever you can flip, buddy. So moving on, guys, we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of the show tonight, but we do have some regular segments we wanted to get through. I guess we have 2 photo segments we do every week. First up, well, I'm going to let Jay Roos drive from here. Jay, which one do you want to do first?
You skipped the
Don't
segment.
blow it, dude. Don't blow it.
Don't blow it.
Don't puke.
Well, didn't we? If you look at the notes,
Yeah, there's something you missed.
Oh, I didn't know there was notes.
There's always notes.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Is this my moment?
yeah, it's
Oh,
Bobby. Get a little
no,
spotlight.
sorry.
Spotlight on Bobby.
All right.
Bobby.
Shine.
Bobby, we're going to mute everybody.
No, don't make it seem like it's like the Swan song.
All right,
or
hang on, guys. Okay, everybody, take your hats off. Take your hats off.
We should have left it. We should have waited to the last 2 minutes.
Does anybody have a flag to fold for deluxe? No, look, I can't go into too much detail about it. I have now spoken to.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I'm sorry, dude. I couldn't resist.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. I'm down. I'm sorry.
Well, it's just funny. I don't want to take up too much of your time on your guys' show, but like my Friday night and Saturday morning was very busy, dealing with the kind of repercussions of all of that, and I don't know. At first, like everybody else, I thought it was a joke. And then when I couldn't get into contact with people, and then I finally got a chance to speak to Justin at.
Well, Bobby, let me interrupt you for a minute. Let's kind of fill people in because not everybody listening may know what the hell's going on.
Oh, okay.
Just want to give them the cliff notes.
Yeah, for those listening, I'm on 2 podcasts, and one of those is called Shattered Cast Uncut, which is a Transformers podcast that centers around third party. And they had a live episode on Google Hangouts last Friday as a fan's choice kind of thing. We put it out there as a poll to the audience, and that won. So they did it without me. I couldn't make it, and I was a nervous wreck. And it turns out I had every right to be. And it went south, and it seemed like they broke up or whatever. And people were contacting me what happened, and I had to go watch it to figure it out because nobody would talk to me. But I have spoken to Justin. He was at the Jersey show, and we got a chance to talk a little bit. We're definitely on good terms and all that kind of stuff. So he doesn't have any issues with me. And I spoke to Robert D via text briefly, and I'm still trying to get in touch with Greg and Matt. And then whatever. Hopefully it will. Hopefully it'll all. It is we've been together so long. It is like a family, and we're like brothers, and brothers argue, and you hate that one brother always chews with his mouth open at the table, but he always is going to do it. But hopefully we get a chance to kind of get together and talk and all that. But at the very least, I just want to assure everyone that Shattercast is going to go on in some way, shape, or form. I know that Lenny and I are going to have a big, for those people that are listeners of Shattercast, Lenny and I are having a big discussion about all the ins and outs that we can give you without possibly damaging the relationships any further. So all the juicy details will be there. But there will be a show Friday. I just want to make sure that everyone's clear on that. Like it's not a gone forever type of thing. There will be a show Friday. And thank you guys for that opportunity.
So there you have it, folks. So Bobby Skullface has revealed all the deep, dark, juicy secrets of of what he knows nothing about. No.
Hey, and look, and please, anybody out there, please, like if you're like, I am, Robert D's biggest fan, don't start writing these people saying like, now's your time to go solo. like don't do that because I don't think that's what anybody really wants.
Well, I was watching live, and I was actually talking to. They had some technical difficulties, so I was talking to Deluxe, trying to help them walk the guys through what they're doing. And the post started posting afterwards, and it was on the Facebook group. And I was like, we all talked. Everybody's like, yeah. I'm like, well, if it was a joke, it's a joke. If it's real, it's real. What it is, let's not be those hens in the hen house. I let it simmer for like 5 minutes, and then I just closed all comments from that. And I just said, when they figure it out, they'll tell us, and we'll know from there.
Absolutely. I appreciate that.
No doubt, man.
So on to brighter news.
Jay Ruse's chair is squeaking, and it won't fucking stop squeaking. I'm going to send you a case of WD-40.
Actually, no, that they probably sell it at your local
of course.
office supply store.
Yeah. I'm not even going to get into that.
No, but reading the notes now, because excuse me for not reading
Back to the notes.
Let's we had several members of our panel tonight, and a lot of the ROC family at the world famous New Jersey Collectors Con last night, yesterday. So why don't you guys give us a little rundown on how that was?
That good. All right.
So moving around. I'm just kidding.
I thought Jay was going to squeak his chair and go into it.
No,
I forgot. You're Mr. Antisocial.
No, I keep muting my mic now. I can hear my fucking chair.
Wow. He's going to be self-conscious. No, yesterday was great. New Jersey Collectors Convention, NJCC, down in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. They do it 3 times a year, and we've been going for almost 3 years now, and it's kind of like where our first meet and greet was for a lot of people that we knew that was in the area, and it was really fantastic yesterday. A lot of people. I could actually say that I think we had about 30 plus from one time to another between the time when I got there 8 o'clock in the morning until I left at like 3:30, 4 o'clock. There's at least that many people that have come in and out that was either ROC fam or ROC affiliated.
So would you say that ROC ain't nothing to fuck with? Would you go?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
Well, there were definitely 20 people at the lunch table.
Yes, there was 20 people at lunch.
And then there were people who were there earlier in the day who didn't make it in, and people who came in later. So yeah, Gus is right. It was about 30 fucking heads wearing either ROC shirts or supporters,
Yeah, and you know what? You've seen that grow over the past couple of shows. It was, hey, we got the first shirt, and it was like 6 people, and then the next one there was 14 people, and then it was, and it just grew on and grew on and grew on, and it's not the biggest show in the world. It's a small venue, but it's a fun venue, and I've seen it grow from when we first started going there. Me and Rolling Steel started going there. It was like used to be a big G.I. Joe event, and then G.I. Joe's, a little bit of vintage stuff, a lot of garbage here and there. Everybody thinks they got the Holy Grail, and then it started. It moved into more more Transformer-ish, and then even more Transformers when the Hasbro stuff was picking up, and then it just seemed like to shift gears towards a Transformers-based show, and then you started getting some third-party guys in there, like guys selling their third-party, and then you had some vendors coming in, like Lunar Toys would come in, and you had a couple guys like that, and now this show you had Lunar Toys, which really upped it a little bit more with a little bit more of a modern stock. He had a lot of older stuff past couple of shows, and he had 215 Toys is there, you know. So it's a bigger presence, and it's growing even more. So little synopsis on the show.
Bobby, you've worked lots of shows, obviously, with your artwork and stuff. What's your thoughts on the NJCC?
Yeah, I'll tell you, like it is a small show. I mean, it's a 1-day show at a hotel, so like it's small. But I was surprised at how much traffic it got. Like, and then Hung told me he was like, man, this is kind of a smaller turnout than what I'm used to here. And I was like, what? I was like, there's no room for anybody in here. Like when I came in one time from stepping out for a minute, like I was like, oh my god, I bet you the pockets of this room are fucking funky. There was a lot of people, and it's a relatively small space, and but it was cool. I mean, from my standpoint, I mean, like, you know, I mean, a little. We did all right business wise, but you know, I got to chop it up with a lot of people that I talked to like online, and haven't had a chance to meet in person, and then got to talk to you guys a bit. And we recorded Nerd Rage today, and I was telling them, I was like, man, like, and this is no, like, you know, we're not gonna start jerking each other off quite yet, but
Why not?
it was like, I'm proud of you guys, man. Like, I'm really, like, sincerely proud of you guys. Like, you know, it's Uncle Skullface and everybody. All you guys are my little nieces and nephews, but you guys really feel like my little nephews. Like, I'm happy to see you guys. Like, I saw it start, and then I saw it become a thing, and now I've watched this thing kind of grow and get bigger and more popular, and then I saw all the shirts at the show and stuff, and I was like, man, good for you guys. You guys got a lot of love there.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. I mean,
Thanks, Uncle Bobby.
thanks.
Yeah, hey, there's always a spot on my lap for you, Jay Bruce.
I'll take you on that. You know, when we get to Chicago.
Well, I see a photo op set up for.
It like I was always saying, it's mostly about how the community. We always based on community, like what we do, like show wise and all that other stuff. It's kind of like an outlet for the community, you know, to bring more people into the community. So
Asian Kid Matt, that was cool to meet that dude.
Okay. Whoa. Let me just break this down. A story about Asian Kid Matt. And Matt, I'm not trying to put you on the spot there, but it was funny as fuck. We're all hanging out like in front of Bob's table, like in that area, and he comes up to me and goes, and I'm gonna do a really bad Asian Kid Matt impression. Yo, Dust. he sounds like a very miniature, like weird sounding Rocky Balboa. You know, he's got that Philly accent. You know, he's like, I saw the SCU card on the table. I know one of those guys over there is from SCU, but I don't know who. And I just looked at him. Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? You know? And then when I told him, his eyes lit up.
Dude, don't make him feel bad. Because in fucking TFCon in Charlotte, I had no idea that was fucking Bobby who opened the door for me when we were going down the fucking patio.
I didn't know either,
like,
but I put two and two together real quick.
Is that Skullface?
Yeah, but you know
That's
the
like, yeah, stupid. I'm like, oh.
we were standing there talking with him at the table, and he hears the voice, and I just don't get it.
It's a beautiful thing though, like the little anonymity. You know what I mean? Like it is a beautiful thing. But I told him he's a little cutie pie. I'm gonna put him in my pocket and leave with him.
Dude, Tyler L was at the show last night, and on the way out, he was like, "Yo, that Asian Kid Matt is small. I can throw him in my backpack." and I was like, "You mean like Yoda?" He was like, "Yeah, exactly like Yoda."
And it was nice to like.
Hung gives him a hell of a hard time about it.
You know, like obviously, like I'm you know, I follow Asian Kid Matt on Instagram, so I see his girl, you know, because it's hard to see one without the other, and
Dillybot.
And then like, you know, yeah, and I followed her today on Instagram, but but it was funny in real life to see the two of them like. And then I saw her, like, shouted to her, I'm not picking on her, but I saw her at one point. She like looked down at her phone, and she looked up, and he had walked around the corner. And she had this moment of like, what the fuck? And I was joking with him. I took a picture with the two of them, and I was like, I just wanted to separate you two for a second. It's cute.
That was cool. It was fun.
Who am I to stand in the way of true love?
A really good time yesterday. Really good.
So yeah, man. I mean, the show is small, and you know, you could find some good finds there, but you know, we just go because, you know,
it's a chance to chill.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I tell everybody. Everybody's like, is it worth going? I'm like, well, don't think about going just because of what they have.
Right.
Think about going about what's we're gonna do in meeting each other and actually, you know, chilling and hanging.
Yeah, and it's like it's quaint, you know, like it's like intimate, you know. So like there's a like in the little restaurant is attached to it, so everybody can kind of go and have a, you know what I mean? Like it's good for that. It's a good social vibe in there.
So I have a one thing I want to say. So don't discredit what's there, because keep in mind Ace finished up his G1 collection, and he didn't do that at TFCon.
I had to break his balls a little bit too.
No, that's par for the course.
When I saw him, I was like, "Come here and correct me about something." Man, I swear to God, I never hear like, "Hey, how you doing?" from Ace. Good morning. You know what I mean? I never hear like, you know, like, "Hey, like, you know, what do you think about the fucking Orioles or whatever?" It's just like, "Hey, that tab switch around to the back."
Yeah, you get the womp womp. You got the womp womp.
We've renamed him Deuce Milo because he's always dropping a deuce on us.
He's dropping a deuce on you, so he's Deuce Milo. Womp
No longer an ace. He's a deuce.
Yeah, but he's a good dude.
That's just
straight up it. That's just Ace, and once you get to know Ace, you love Ace.
So Ace comes up to me. He goes, yeah, I'm one away from finishing my USG1 collection. I said, which one did you get? He goes, oh, I got this blah 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 little bumble jumper or whatever the hell his name is. I said, yeah, how much did you pay? $90. Let me see it. He pulls it out of his pocket.
Ronan Kaufman style, right?
It's a mini bod. It's kind of like a cliff jumper bumblebee hybrid. I don't know what the fuck I was looking at. And I said, yeah, how much was it? He's like 90. Oh.
Arms flopping all over the place.
He goes, I got one more left. I said, is it here? He goes, no, it's kind of hard to find. Is it expensive? Nah, it's only like $20. You find it here, I'll fucking buy it for you.
Yeah, you did.
This motherfucking found it.
I guarantee
He fucking found one.
He probably never stopped.
So yeah, I'm happy to say I bought Deuce's last piece that he needed for his USG1.
It was funny because he was looking at the piece and the guy wanted 20 for the piece, and then he was like, well, I'm gonna look around and see if I can find it cheaper. And I was thinking to myself, like, this is your last piece, like,
Right.
just get it and be done. And I was laughing, and the guy next to me was like, I'm gonna fucking hide it. Fuck him.
And he was like, he was like, yeah, the chrome isn't nice. And then he found another one around the corner. I think it was a Diaclone version or something, but it was really beat up. So he went back over to the other one, and I said, yo, man, you better talk that guy down.
He was like, Ace wasn't even gonna do it. He was like, they both look like crap. I'm like, dude, it's $20. You can probably talk them down to 15. Just fucking finish your set, and you can find a better one later on.
Exactly. Basically, that's why I said I'll buy it for you, just to shut him the fuck up.
Oh my god, $15. He just spent $90 on a fucking tiny little mini bot. He won't spend $15 on a fucking fucking.
Last time he went to the show, he spent $1,000.
On one guy. Yeah.
Like, can you imagine just saying, I'm done? Like,
yeah, that's what I was like. What's next, man? What do you go after next? And that's, we've had that conversation on here. Like, when you get done, with what you're saying you're collecting, you know, what's next?
Yeah, and Tyler Ellis, he's in the chat. He said, yeah, he was hung up on the stickers, and then I don't know, somebody brought up a repo label sheet.
I told him they probably are repo labels, and then he went on the website, found them, and he was like, oh,
I'm like, boom, there you go.
Yeah.
Is that a Toy Detox, Tyler?
Yeah.
Shout out to Tyler, man. Thanks for keeping my show together, Tyler.
Hamster Tyler. Yeah. The show would have been fine.
He's in the chat right now.
Shout out to Tyler. He's in the chat.
Yeah, so he was like he was telling Ace, was like, you know, don't worry about the stickers. You know, we're all trying to tell him, just get it done. I'm tired of hearing about it. If you find something better 6 months from now, I'm not gonna be mad. Sell the fucking thing. It cost me $15.
Yeah, that's
He's
crazy.
talking down to $15. But it was nice to say, you know what? Here you go, bro. I finished your fucking collection.
Yeah.
If I ever go to Ace's house, I'm gonna steal one of them just for a year. I'll go back just so he goes fucking nuts.
He probably wouldn't even notice.
When you get home, take a picture of it on your shelf and send him a picture saying, this is how you stand him properly.
So the other thing I wanted to ask you guys is, and I know there's a famous story. Is the waitress still working at the restaurant?
She was not here. We did not get this waitress this time around. We did not get her this time around. So we were happy. We were supposed to. Usually when we have more than 10 people, they give us our own room. This time, I guess they didn't give us the room, so we kept making jokes about if we drop a couple of F-bombs and be loud, they'll move us into that room. So we got this big long table there, and I'm hoping to God it wasn't gonna be the same waitress, because we had her 2 times before. She was the most nastiest, snottiest. I'm not even gonna go. It was just a really bad experience, and we all said to each other, "Why do we do this? Why are we doing this?" And the original plan was to either walk across the street to the other strip mall area, and there was another restaurant there, and go there. Or what I want to do, and this is what I want to do for the summer show, call a local pizza place, get about 15 pies delivered.
Oh, that's an idea.
Yep, get some pies delivered, go out to the parking lot, everybody brings some figures, we do a little finger banging in the parking lot like we do, and we just do a hoop-to-do out there like that. So I think
Pizza
the summer
hand
show...
and toys, that sounds really good.
some greasy ass.
Well, we do the finger banging before we eat.
Let's be honest.
While we're waiting for the pizza.
Most of those toys are going to have pizza residue on them somewhere.
Yeah, it's somewhere down the line. It's going to happen. So yeah, we actually had a figure bag. We all went out and everybody touched my pee-pee out in the parking lot. MPP 10. I brought the MPP 10 for them to fuck around with.
To get their hands on.
Yes, to get their hands on. So yeah, but we just said fuck it. We're all here. If we leave, the parking lot's packed. We're going to have 7 cars, 10 cars. It's just going to be a problem, so we're kind of like stuck going there. But we did not have her this time. We had a nice young lady this time, and she was like, "You guys don't want separate checks, do you?" So we broke it down into like 5s or 4s or whatever it was, and I just said, "Look," I said, "You're gonna be better off if you break it into 4s than doing one big table, you know?"
I got some food from there too. I got the little chicken fingers.
Yeah, that's what I got. I got the chicken fingers too.
They're pretty good.
Did you get the slaw?
I did, but I didn't eat it. I gave it to Mikey Shoulders. I went up there with Mikey Shoulders. He's like a dear friend of mine. Kept me out of prison and getting my ass whipped like consistently in my early 20s.
That's a great name, like he should.
Yeah. Well, he definitely had some shoulders on him.
yeah. He's a wide dude. Yeah, but he's a really, really good dude. I remember one time, this is terrible. It's gonna make me sound like such an asshole, and I was an asshole in my early 20s. But like, I had bought a pack of cigarettes. I'm walking down Saratoga Street, Baltimore City, and this car. I told you guys, like, I'm a bad luck guy. Like, anything bad that can happen will happen to me. So I'm walking down the street. I'm opening up this pack of cigarettes, and I like haphazardly throw like the plastic trash on the ground, along with like the tinfoil piece inside. And this car comes pulling out from behind me, out of like a parking garage, and it's like, "Pick that up." And I turned around and I was like, "No." And then I saw it was a cop. But like at that point, in like early 20s version of me, like was like, well, now it's just a matter of whose will is stronger, sir. So he was like, "I'm telling you, pick that up." And I said, "I'm telling you, I'm not gonna." And my buddy Shoulders like just reached down, I was like, "I got it." Picked it up real quick and like put it in his pocket. But I mean, it was stuff like that. It was all the time because I was a fucking maniac. So I got to hang out with him, which is another bonus of the Jersey show. But yeah, he got a big ass burger. I don't even think he could finish it from that restaurant, which is saying something because he can put it away.
Oh, I was saying he couldn't finish it because it was that bad.
No.
We've had some bad experiences, but it's there and we use it, and it suits its purpose. Shout out to the restaurant that's connected to the NJCC there.
So the red, white, and blue, or?
I don't know. Every time we go there, it's a different fucking name. Once it's to the burger shop, then we went there. It's on something else, and it's a rib joint.
I gotcha. It was good.
Hot Carl's Biscuit Express.
Yeah, man, good times. Good meeting everybody.
Yes.
I mean, there's a bunch of new faces there too.
Yeah. A lot of new faces, and we could get on this forever, but I don't want to hold us back from what we're talking about. But we'll discuss this in the hangout. If you guys want to hear about NJCC, we'll go into more detail on the hangout.
Yeah. So I guess at this time we'll go into some photo stuff.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's this time?
I mean, it's whenever we want to do it.
All right, so here we go.
For the person that like is so nervous to talk all the time, is like can't wait to talk about this one thing.
Yeah, look at him. He's all.
What are you
It's my
talking
time. It's my time. It's my time. Hey, everybody, gather round.
All right, guys. This is my segment where we talk about pictures. on Instagram, and all you got to do to be featured or spotlighted on our show is hashtag your pictures, hashtag Realm of Collectors. Realm of Collectors.
Listen, let's be real. That's not all you have to do. You have to take a good photo too.
And then, I'm going, and make your shot creative. Add some couches or some little throw rugs or
Pillows.
or have pillow fights in the middle. Have clone troopers doing pillow fighting. Yeah. Dioramas, lighting effects. Lens flares.
Lots of
Let's be creative, make shots look good, and you have a chance to get featured. And first shot being featured today apparently is on a roll on the articulated. What is it?
Viral.
That's on IG.
Oh, that's IG.
Yeah.
800 plus likes at the moment, right?
Wow.
It's at Harvey__Dent with his shot of BvS taking a nap.
Really great picture, Dan. Really great. And I love the whole 3-step thing you did.
Yeah, I made a whole little kind of a slideshow thing, but I just wanted to do that for the thing last night. So I'm really happy with how it came out. I want to change it up, make it a little bit better, and I like that top pick right there, just him jumping over. I think that came out really well.
Yeah, awesome job, awesome. I know you haven't been featured in a little while, and you cry every time you're not.
That I do.
So, good job. Next picture is by Nerf Herder 3000.
Is that all together with no spaces?
I don't recall, because the way they tagged it is in 3 separate lines. So I'll look it up for you in a minute.
That's all good.
It
is. That's correct. Yeah.
Captain Phasma walking her pet AT-AT walker.
That's a really cool picture. I just love the way it's set up outdoors. I just really dig that picture.
I mean, when we were kids, we always played with our walker as if it was our pet, a fucking dog. So, this is reliving my childhood right now.
I hate my fucking phone. Sorry.
What?
So, good job, Nerf Herder. This one, an interesting named gentleman at Son of Porkins.
Son of Porkins, nice. That's great.
Awesome shot. I don't know who these characters are in a field.
I think Bobby Skullface can tell you exactly who these schlubs are.
Let me see. I gotta get real close.
Well, I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll zoom in.
That's the Resistance pilot. Oh, and that's Nasty Asty.
The Beastie Boy guy, right?
Yeah.
So whatever he said, awesome shot. You see, there's dirt all over the fucking gun, so it's.
Don't buy that figure. If you ever Son of Porkins ever sell it.
Joints will be jammed up.
No longer mint.
Hey, and just real quick, shout out to that cat. I had seen one of his pictures and had just commented, "Hey, tag ROC for a chance to be featured." And hey, look, Son of Porkins, it just worked out for you.
And I am unfollowing Roma Collectors right now because I'm getting a fucking notification every 3 seconds now.
Well, that's because you're tagged here, Enzo.
No, it's Roma Collectors just posted a photo.
Sorry. My part.
No, not unfollowing. I was unsubscribing. Those notification things. Anyway, next picture.
Shut off your notification.
I know. Hold on.
You do it now.
No, next picture. Victory Saber 77 with a fucking awesome shot of Deathstroke. Yeah, Deathstroke.
Yeah. You with the question mark?
No, because I'm like Deadpool, Deathstroke, that shit.
Jesus.
No, which series is that from? There, James.
Arkham Knight.
No, it's from Arrow TV series.
Oh, look at that! Shut the fuck up, J. Roos.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Thanks for answering, J. Roos.
No, well, I was impressed that somebody used a figure from that line that had a shirt on. So This
Well,
really means a
hold
lot.
on. I don't mean to break this up, but Brian Brink brought up a really cool fact right here in the chat. I just learned that the actor that played Porkins also played Eckhart in '89 Batman.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that.
And isn't that the
Oh,
same
yeah.
guy? Isn't the same
shit.
guy that played Eckhart in '89 Batman the same guy that was on Sons of Anarchy?
No.
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 He played in Batman Begins.
Yeah,
Oh,
he played-
okay.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Bobby
okay.
Ellis. Yeah. No, yeah, he was in Batman Begins. He was the.
Eckhart, think about the future.
The future, the future.
That's right. I got it now. Now I'm getting my worlds. It's like a fucking WB
Multiverse
show.
is crashing on you.
worlds collide.
It's an awesome photo, awesome figure. This figure looks amazing, but I know it's limited a little bit in the articulation, though, right, James?
Yeah,
A little bit, yeah,
collectibles.
but it's not too bad.
Comes with a shit ton of. I mean, all those DC figures are kind of shit for articulation from that line, but except the one without a shirt. But nonetheless, this figure comes with a shit ton of accessories compared to the rest of the line.
Yeah.
Ridiculous amount of swords, and he's got little fucking knives everywhere.
He's got a
Doesn't come
real
with
gun
that
in the
sword,
whole.
though.
No.
I stole that from the 2-pack Deathstroke because the sword that he does come with is pretty shitty. So,
Which I desperately need that figure. It's one I don't have.
but yeah,
It's a really good looking figure. The paint on it looks really fucking good.
Yeah.
Figure.
Next picture. Oh, this is the one
Nice.
without the tag. Uh-oh.
No, it's on there. It's in the very bottom.
Not on mine.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got it here because I already put it up. It's Enzo.
Santorizi, right? And
Enzo Santizo.
Okay.
With
Enzo
loose skin
Santizo.
Enzo Santizo.
DKR Batman and a mutant. Is that what that is?
Yeah, the mutant here. Mr. Nipples.
Doing the surgical breaking of the
Oh,
arm.
you jackass! You stole my line. I was gonna say that.
I'm sorry.
It's in a mud hole.
We refer to that
Surgery
Batman around
to
here
the-
as loose skin Batman.
I refer to Jisk as the Mezco hater.
Hey, I'm with you, Jisk.
That Batman's just, you can tell he's old under there.
Hey, I'm sorry, go ahead, Bobby.
I was just gonna add. Do you think that's the book for the backdrop?
It might
It's
be
possibly, but yeah,
I think it's the box.
The
It's
box,
the
'cause
box.
they come
Alright.
like that.
So I have just a quick funny story about that Batman. So I've got the black and white one that these jackals got me for my birthday
You're welcome.
last year. Yes, and it's in my case, and right down from it I've got my Batman Classics figures standing there. So my little guy just turned 3. He always loves to come in there and who's this guy? Who that guy is who that guy is. So he knows who Batman is. So he says he points at the loose skin Batman. He says that's Mad Batman. And I said, yeah, he's kind of mad. And then he points at Adam West. He says, that's Happy Batman. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, that is accurate.
Anywho.
And last but not least, another hot rod fishing photo by @Kilo1027.
Fish are biting today. Eh?
You gotta zoom out though. You zoomed in and took away like one of the best parts of the
The
photo.
reflection.
Yeah.
Fucking J-Ruse.
It was an awesome shot at Kilo. Again, the reflection, like the last picture was what Dr. Decepticon, I think it was. You're getting that reflection in the water. I think he literally had to be in the water to take this shot, unless this is like a puddle.
What you don't know about Kilos, he's a licensed scuba diver. So
Part merman. Yeah.
Merman.
Nice reference.
So awesome shot at Kilo. And that's it. Once again, if you'd like to be featured on the show in our spotlight segment, keep tagging your pictures, #Realm of Collectors.
Realm.
And
What-
for
what is the joke to that as a listener?
Well, here's the joke. Originally, the ROC was started as a professional wrestling collectibles group, so it was Ring of collectors.
Okay.
And I didn't even really know that, but early on in the first couple episodes, I mistakenly
It
said
wasn't a professional wrestling collector group.
that
It
is
was
that is what your homeboy told me. But
No.
moving right along, I mistakenly said Ring of Collectors like half a dozen times. So therein lies the joke.
I think a lot of us said that at first.
So we
Because
just as a long running joke just just say realm.
Right,
Like
right, right.
before we start the show, remember guys, realm.
Realm.
That's
Realm. So J. Rose, you want to pull up the contest picture real quick?
Working on it.
All right, so every week we have a ROC. It's a Realm of Collectors challenge. Is the hashtag on Instagram. So this week's challenge was kudos. It was to shout out a group on Instagram. Anybody really, you can do whatever you want. So Plastic Therapy picked five top picks, his picks, and then whoever gets the most votes is who wins. And you win a fantastic prize. That is us congratulating you.
You out.
So let's get started looking at these. Our first one here is by,
Is it this one? The Metroplex?
by at Jaxius _. Shouting out ROC, Toy Arc, some other groups as well. You got Metroplex holding, is that the new Laserbeak?
Yes.
Yep.
No, that's the other one.
Whatever.
But,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
Fucking
you know,
Decepticons.
Rumble Frenzy, Decepticons.
Glad we got Dan here for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's up on the Combiner War stuff. So
Rumble is red.
that one's got 120 likes. What's next? Next is Erictron with a shout out to Corbeli Records, Dust Mites, and Nathan Haskell. Why the fuck is there a fly in my damn soup? And he says his favorite song is Fly in My Soup.
That's
Just
fun.
what did you say about the posing in this picture?
Oh, I told Ace, like, that's how you pose. That's how you pose, Ace.
All right. And this is by our homeboy DPC, Damn Plastic Crack 36. It's got a picture of J. Ruse with a Kronos and a G1 Jetfire, and it says, "Okay, boys, listen. This guy really wants a Kronos figure. Problem is, he can't tell the difference between Skyfire and Jetfire. What do we do?"
Dude, I swear to God, I thought all my life that they called Skyfire Jetfire in the cartoon because the toy is called Jetfire, and I fucking.
Yeah, do you even G1, bro?
I went to DPC said I was wrong. I was like, fuck no, I'm not wrong. I went to Wiki. First thing I pull up, it says Jetfire. He's like, look at that shit. It's the toy. I'm like, all right. So I scroll down. I'm like, oh, Skyfire. So great. I was
I call him
wrong.
Jetfire too, but you know.
I call him Jetfire. He's always been Jetfire to me.
Well, in Armada he was Jetfire, so
I
that's
call
how
him
I grew up.
Kronos.
moving right along.
All right, so a second entry by Damn Plastic Crack 36, and this is a shout out to Nono Boy 311. And honestly, I don't know. I'm assuming he's a boxed collector.
Yes.
So
Nono Boy does not open anything apparently.
So he buys third-party figures and doesn't open.
He bought a second house just to house the boxed figures that he has.
Are you serious?
No.
Okay.
That's what you said. Are you fucking serious, Clark?
Maybe he did. Yeah.
That moment in Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
God, it's so good.
So that one's 113.
It's a fine quality item.
And I think this is the last one here. It's a really cool picture by our homeboy Codemus Prime G1. Shouting out the ROC with a Chappie figure. It's a really cool looking figure, and I'm not real sure how he did the emblem there, but it came out really cool.
Oh, he went to a jewelry store and had it.
That's nice, man. We gotta think about getting them ROC dog tags.
It can only be Jared.
Yeah.
That's what his bitch sings in prison for.
Yeah, I just want to say, anybody that's listening to iTunes or the audio portion of this, you can just check out the videos where? The pictures where? Excuse me?
These pictures are available on the Realm of Collectors Instagram, at Realm of Collectors. And it looks like our winner is by Jaxius _, the Metroplex picture. So congratulations to Jaxius for your victory.
Man. 120 likes. That's dope.
Yep. Pretty cool. So the torch has been passed this week in my very own Thunder Thief. Dan will be putting out the challenge this week. Oh, yeah, shut up. So he'll be putting that out in the morning. which in the morning for him is about noon for the rest of us. So
You're welcome.
just get your photography ready.
Do we need a couch?
No,
Yeah,
but I will actually ask you to like push it and actually put some effort into it.
Yeah, there's a.
So
Dan and I talked a little bit about this. This is going to be a pretty cool challenge. It's gonna take a little bit of thinking on everybody's part. So, and thanks everybody that participates. You know, this is just another way to grow the realm, and we really appreciate everybody that tags ROC and participates. So,
For this photo that you guys are showing now of this Skywarp for $600, I just want you to pay close attention to the
Oh, yeah.
8 or 9th comment down where it clearly says this dude is an asshole.
You know what?
$600.
This was at NJCC yesterday, and we did not understand this.
well, let me ask you a question here.
I understood it
the
after I
second-
fucking went on eBay.
Well,
Okay.
the second thing says yes, you heard that right. I don't hear anything because
No,
I'm reading.
he was probably getting 101 fucking questions.
Everybody's fucking asking, hey,
Are you serious? Are you?
I'm being MC Grammar right now about his. Yes, you read that right. But
Oh, all right.
Even on eBay, it's not $600.
it's 500, 500 or 550 buy it now. So this
How
guy
much
was
has
just
it
trying
sold
to,
for though?
Now, why is it a 500, 550 buy it now, James?
because, well, they were limited, right, Bobby? On these,
Yeah, I don't know how limited they were, but I think it's definitely an availability thing.
they sold out quick.
Yeah.
There's
You
no.
know what I love is when
I
fucking
don't know if it's sold
Hasbro.
by Skullface. It ain't worth that without a signature.
I can't wait for Hasbro to drop
Uh,
their fucking Skywarp this summer, and
Yeah.
this guy's gonna fucking wish he never had this thing ever.
Toys R Us. That's what I said. That's what I said at the
Yep.
show. Like when
$60
Toys R Us
is
dropped
coming.
this stuff for $65, this guy's gonna wish he took $300 for this motherfucker. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's like Transformers fans. I mean, I'm sure he'll sell it eventually.
I'm pretty sure my local comic shop that's going out of business has that for $350. I should probably buy it. I didn't realize that it was that valuable of a figure.
Flip it,
I could flip it like a pair of Jordans.
Jordan.
So we gonna do this? We gonna do this BvS?
Yep.
Yeah.
So listeners, watchers. Now we get into the meat and the potatoes of our chat here tonight. We are going to go spoiler heavy into Batman vs Superman for upwards of an hour and possibly 7. We may go nerd rage style and just do an all nighter here.
Yeah.
How much time you got there, Bobby?
It's funny, man. I'm always asking Adam, I'm like, where are we at time wise? And he's like, it doesn't matter.
Dude, you guys, I love the hell out of your shows, but I never quite get all the way through them because it seems like wherever I'm going, and I listen when I drive, I never quite get there. And by the time there's something like the next episode will be out, or the new Shattered Cast will be out, or something by the time I'm ready to go somewhere else. So I always listen like.
Oh, you miss all the love you get then, man. Where's your narcissism when you need
Listen, I don't. You know what, Bobby? I'm gonna be honest. I used to listen for the love, but right here, buddy, me and you, buddy. I don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't need it anymore.
Driving to NJCC yesterday, I was like, yeah, I need something for the ride. I'm tired of all the fucking music I'm listening to. So I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna fucking get these podcasts going. And it's like I put the latest Nerd Rage, I put some Toy Detox in there, and blah blah blah. And as I was driving, it was like the most relaxed feeling driving down there. You know, it's like 5:45 in the morning, 6:30. It was a 2-hour drive for me. So I got almost through it. I got to about the part where you guys started talking about B versus S again, and it was. I listened to it, but I can only listen to it in like chapters. I call it chapters. You know, if I'm doing this, if I'm doing that, if I'm doing that. So it was really nice to be able to listen to at least 2 hours straight.
Yeah, it's
and get that rhythm going with you guys. You know,
it's a
great
fun
show.
thing. It's funny, man, because like we started doing it because we thought it would like we've been friends for so long and with lives and schedules and stuff, like time lapses and we wouldn't talk or whatever, and we'd be like, let's do something where it forces us to talk. But now, like, stuff is coming out so often, like movies or whatever, or little bits of news, like with Star Wars being back in the mix and DC stepping heavy into the cinematic universe. Like, now we want to talk more. So, like, when we get on the phone, we'll be on the phone for like 5 seconds. We'll be like, whoa, stop, save it.
Yeah. And yeah, you guys, I'm gonna say you guys go fucking deep, man.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that's
That's what she said.
So
Yeah,
if anybody that's listening will, of course, plug this at the end. But one of Bobby's shows, he's on his Nerd Rage Radio with him and Adam Russman, and they will they will go 3 hours in a heartbeat. So
Yeah, for sure.
it is a good show, absolutely. And I know, Bobby, you've done 3 shows on this subject already, so you're well versed here. So let's just get right into it. Who wants to pilot this ship for this segment? Because
Spoilers.
I got it. I'll take care.
yeah,
I'll take
I'm
care
gonna
of
let just drive this ship.
Hey, Dan, I got a spoiler for you.
Lois is the key.
You're
Hold on.
Die. You're gonna die alone.
Whoa. I just saw Jay's ass go up. I'm like, whoa. Is that
Little
a spoiler?
triumph the insult comic dog.
Before we do the BvS, I just real quick want to talk about this real life superhero in Seattle.
Oh, this is gonna be a 5-hour show.
This guy, the real life superhero Phoenix Jones is his superhero name, stops an attempted murder in Seattle.
Phoenix Joe.
This dude legitimately wears a fucking costume.
Phoenix
Jones. Does it give us details around exactly how he?
Yeah, so I guess he walked. He was out. He was out on patrol.
Patrol was what you call it. Is our schedule?
As a vigilante does.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys
And-
laughing now, dude. He could stop your murder one day.
That's true.
Well, I'm not planning on coming to Seattle, so.
He was coming across a dude that was getting beaten by a couple of other guys, and so what it says is they were viciously beating, like pistol whipping and kicking a guy, and he ran up on him and stopped it, did some judo kick and kicked the guy's weapon away, and then held them there until the cops came.
Wow. That's
Citizen's
awesome.
arrest.
You know, and like I think about that, like I was like, dude, how's this guy gonna hold him there? But honestly, if somebody came at me with a superhero costume, I don't think I'd go anywhere. All right, I guess I'll wait. See what
I hope he
happens.
has like a sick ass voice.
Oh my god, dude.
He's
I
probably
gotta-
a fucking
So-
squeaker.
He's probably like the Doberman.
Sounds like
Probably like
Jeremy.
the Doberman in Up.
Hold on, I'm gonna screen share real fast because we might as well look at.
Hey, you guys,
Look at this picture.
stop that. You guys stop.
All right, here we go. This is this guy and his crew right here. What I love is that he wears a GoPro on his head.
That's awesome.
But look,
man.
everyone's represented. You got Skullface over here on the left. You got Magneto.
Don't say it.
Spider-Man, Iron Man, and I don't know who this guy is over here, but
It's a crash test dummy.
It's the Ghostface Killer.
he's a juggalo from
Now is he
Insane
wearing
Clown Posse.
GoPros on his shoulders?
Oh, maybe. I
What's
didn't
that on his
see that.
shoulders? I think they're all.
Dude, but look at this guy, like, for real, look at this guy's costume, dude. It's like Batman and Spawn combined.
All right, hold on.
It's
Those aren't
pretty
hockey
legit.
pads.
What'd you say, Victory? I'm sorry.
Oh, they're not hockey pads.
Yeah. These aren't hockey pads. I'm not wearing hockey pads. They look pretty good. Like, it looks like he did walk off
He
the
should put in some work. I like that his fingers are cut out. Like, he's going to leave prints everywhere. This guy's already failed.
Yeah, well, he's not afraid.
Let's say
so-
his full name in there, so I mean, he don't care.
It looks like he records the stuff, so you could probably, again, Phoenix Jones out of Seattle, you could probably catch him on YouTube somewhere.
He needs that dexterity, for
It's probably
handling
because
evidence.
when he probably live tweets it all.
What happened?
Live tweets.
Yeah.
He's on Periscope.
Yeah, so he has to.
He's on Periscope. Snap.
I would watch the shit out of that Periscope.
Yeah, I would too.
He's got a Patreon. He's got a Patreon.
I don't even give a fuck if he beats anybody up. I just want to
No.
watch him walking around.
I just
I want-
watch him on patrol.
I want Brave to do this, and review toys on Periscope while he saves.
You know what's funny? Like, out of all of us, like, out of everybody that's doing a show, so the SCU guys, Toy Detox, like, Brave is the one dude I could picture being a fucking superhero vigilante. Like, on the street.
He's definitely got the energy for it, you know?
I could just picture, like, he would go deep into that character.
Actually, he could be a villain with that fucking chuckle of his.
All right, so let's go into BvS. Again, it's spoiler heavy, so this is your chance. We'll give you a couple seconds to hop on out.
Still 29 people watching.
All right, well, we're going to go for it. So what I think we should do, just initially, is go through, I know we've done it before, but go through and just give it a scale of 1 to 10 real fast so we know where everybody's at.
But
And then
hang on, do we have to remember what we gave it last week?
No, you can change it, whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, because you think about it throughout the week. But I'm just going to go from my screen. So, Bobby, you're first. Just scale 1 to 10.
6.
All right, Dan?
9.
J. Ruse?
4.
Fuck you.
Chris?
I'm gonna go with a 7.5.
Dust?
8.
And Victory Saber?
3.
Wow.
And I also will give it
He's been waiting
7.5.
all night for that one.
Wow.
I'll also give it a 7.5. So I guess just for J. Ruse and
So if we gave it higher than a 7, are we dismissed from?
Yeah, I'm gonna eject you guys from the call right now.
well, I just want to ask. So J. Ruse and James, like one thing. If you could just say one thing that like was the worst thing about it, if you can.
Who are you starting with? So
Go ahead,
Oh,
James.
J. Ruse is fine, or whoever. I'll just go in order.
No, go, James. Go ahead.
One thing?
Yeah, like what was your main,
he's
your main
gonna
concern?
he's gonna bust out a book.
Like what was your main gripe with the whole thing? If it could like.
The portrayal of Batman, I guess.
Portrayal of Batman.
The portrayal.
What do you mean
just
the
the way they
Portrayal. He said portrayal.
portrayal as of what they did with Batman. So.
What about that? Because I might be with you.
I just wanted more detective, less emotion.
All right, never mind. I hear that. I hear that as a complaint. My big complaint with Batman in this movie is his like total disregard for human life.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna go.
The fuck yo couch. Batman.
That goes with the emotional
exactly,
side.
man. It was the fuck your couch Batman.
So
Yeah, here's the thing.
I
like,
loved it.
let me
Batman
ask you a
wasn't
question.
Batman in this movie.
And this is to anybody. But let's say we have a Batman movie that takes place 6 months after the events of Batman vs Superman. And the Joker is holding a knife to Barbara Gordon. What stops this Batman from walking up to him and shooting him in the head? And the movie being over in the first 5 minutes.
A couch?
The events
After
of
seeing
BvS.
yes,
Hold up,
there shouldn't be anything that would stop him.
No. I'm gonna interject here because
Whoa.
I'm gonna interject.
No.
No, because I know a lot of people have a problem with this scene, but that scene between him and Superman where he almost kills him, that's a big scene for Batman. I mean, it's more than just our mother's names are Martha or whatever. Like, there's a lot of like things going on, like with Ben Affleck's like acting and that. Like, I want to say nuance, but I don't know if that's the right word.
No, I totally agree with you. But I feel like when it comes to killing the alien, that's the only time he does hesitate.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that's the one thing that kind of brought him back to
I think that
his old ways.
But
Except
the
that he
fact-
goes and
but
kills
the
those
fact-
other people. But
The fact that he was going to kill him makes him not Batman. You
No,
know
and
what I mean?
listen, here's the difference. He was not a human to Batman until
agree.
that scene.
Exactly.
He was killing a fucking alien and it didn't matter.
I agree.
Bullshit.
no, that's what it was. That
Was
was the
he
whole
was
thing with Martha.
people's
One
lives
at a time,
for
one
the year
at a
and a half, the whole year and a half that he was doing his thing. He was saving people's lives.
All right.
And he was reckless. Yes, he was reckless, but if even like Batman would have seen or would have noticed that he was being a hero, you know what I mean? He was being our Batman would have created the kryptonite to stop him if he went bad, but he wouldn't have went to go kill him. You know what I mean?
All right, let me ask you this: dude destroys something or whatever. Are you gonna go and fight him right now? No, you gotta save up. You gotta figure that guy out. You gotta
I didn't
train.
say
But not even that. I think
trained.
more what J. Ruse is talking about. J. Ruse, you also have to think like he's blaming Superman for the deaths of like thousands of people, though.
But
So
our Batman wouldn't have done that. He would have seen that he was fighting Zod, and it was just in the aftermath of that battle that caused all those.
Yeah,
deaths.
but I don't
And
think
then he would have watched Superman saving people's lives afterward and being a hero, and would have said, well, maybe this guy's legit, and just kept that kryptonite in case he went bad. You know what I mean?
To be fair, I think he places the blame at both their feet. It's just that Zod is already dead. Like I think that like for him, and even in the comics, like Batman doesn't value alien life the same way he values human life. So like when I made the comment about just killing the Joker, I'm not talking about Superman. That part doesn't even bother me because I can see the Batman I know saying enough's enough. I'm going to kill this alien. But the scene that bothers me is even after that. Let's say that brings him back to the old Batman when he perhaps shoots and blows up KG Beast. That for me is an issue.
Yep.
You know, like, and there's a number of things like that. Like there isn't, like, human life is not treated the way that DC heroes, in my opinion, treat human life, with the exception of Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is the only murderer of the three, and she's the only one that doesn't kill anybody in this movie. Like, Superman is, in the very beginning, like, Superman is faster than a speeding bullet. Like, that's like one of his things.
But is he that version of that in this?
And when he put that guy through the wall, he absolutely killed him.
I think that you're right. I think that I didn't want to see it that way when I first saw it, but the more that I think about it, I think that you were correct. And that's one of the problems I have. I don't like this killing. Like, even in Dark Knight, like Batman, like, you know, and all the you know, squeezing the trigger of the gun, like, that's a big no-no for me. Like, even in Dark Knight, which is probably the roughest Batman we've ever seen, he even says to those guys, like, you know, this is the weapon of the enemy. We will not use it.
Yeah.
To the Suns, yeah.
So,
well, hold
like,
on.
that's the issue for me.
Well, even in that, like, if you're talking about the Dark Knight Returns, doesn't he kill like that big Bertha chick with a gun? Because I mean, the part you were talking about with KG Beast, that's an exact like almost copy of the Dark Knight Returns when he goes and he saves the chewing gum baby or whatever. You know, he has a gun thing that he pulls on her, and I think he ends up pulling the trigger.
Yeah, I gotta look that up. I gotta look that up because that's become the topic of a lot of debate. But even still, that, like, let's say that that's a one scene, I still have an issue with that. But I mean, that's not the only you know, death in this film at the hands of Batman.
Yeah, it's right here. Just kidding.
Like when Batman like shoots up the car till it explodes and then drives through it.
Right, you're just assuming that guy dies.
You know, like there is
Or
like
runs into the trailer and fucking kills him.
yeah, like there is like I don't, that is something about that Batman I don't like. But I'm okay with the rest of it. I do agree with Victory Saber that I would like to see some more detective. We got a little bit of it, but I would like to see some more.
Yeah, I think was my biggest issue about just with Batman. It's not that it wasn't. It's just that I feel like was caught off guard too many times. Like, I don't feel like Batman's the type of dude that gets fucking surprised, especially that old man Batman. I just feel like doesn't get surprised anymore. Like, he's got it such a routine, like he could just do that shit in his sleep. And so there was so many moments where he just like had no clue what was going on. And he just like
he had no clue about the kryptonite. He had no clue about, or not just kryptonite, but I'm just talking like the Wonder Woman picture, the whole file that Luthor had.
Yeah,
he didn't have tips on any of the metahumans.
Exactly. This is old man Batman. And our old man Batman, he knows everything that's going on. He had files on everybody. For him to be surprised that there's a Wonder Woman, for him to be surprised that there's a Flash, for him to be surprised that there's an Aquaman, you know, that's also like, hey, this is bad writing.
It just seemed rushed.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they're going off of Man of Steel to kind of catapult it into BvS, but BvS is the gateway to all this cinematic universe for DC, and I think they put too much little, you know, Easter eggs in there from the comic books, so we all get a little rise and all this other type of stuff. But as far as, I don't know, all the storyline, just like, I don't really care at times. Flash, Aquaman.
Lois is the key, is what I heard.
Lois, yeah.
Lois is the key.
Yeah, like it's gonna be, you know, it'll be interesting, especially with that Flash scene. You know, makes me wonder how they're gonna do the Flash when this Justice League movie comes out.
Jay Bruce is getting a phone call. That's what I know.
Right, yeah.
And Luthor being a stepping stone for Darkseid. I didn't like that either.
Oh, that's actually a side question.
Yeah, that is. Like, what was everybody? I said, how did everybody feel about Superman? Like, what was your take on Superman and the character?
I agree with Ray's Radio. There wasn't enough Superman. If this was a Batman movie, it felt like, you know.
I'm not that naive. I felt sorry for Superman, to be honest. I just thought that it's like, man, like in the Senate or whatever, when shit gets blown up, he's standing there and he has this look in his face. He's like, I mean, you can tell on the inside he's like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
There's nothing he can do about it.
Well, I mean, I felt sorry for him too, but that's mainly because in the 15 minutes that he was in the movie, he's a sad panda.
Right.
Like, you know, every scene that he's in, he's like, oh shucks, you know, like, golly.
He's not that super. He's not our Christopher Reeve Superman. You know?
Well,
and I don't need him to be that. I don't need him to be that. And there's a lot of depth to Superman, like a lot of stuff that he wrestles with and struggles with. But I don't think that, like, popularity is one of those issues.
Well, and let me ask you, like, do you guys think that this is kind of be a lengthy thing, but like, is BvS kind of too dark of a movie for Superman, and being that like the contrast between Batman and Superman is like Superman gets his power from the sun. He's kind of like a daytime character, where Batman only comes out at night. So the only time they're ever going to meet is on Batman's playing field at night.
So when you say dark, you're speaking about the
Like
literal.
it's grim. Like yeah, I mean it's nighttime, but it just seems like the nighttime is always going to be more grim than the day. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I mean it's like so you get the Superman that's never like I feel like in his element. So they can only coexist on Batman's playing field, and I feel like seeing him when it's always grim kind of robs him of that humanity element when you see him when he shines. You know what I mean? For a lack of a better way to explain it. I
Yeah,
don't know if anybody else agrees with that.
I can see that, but it's not like. But you know, it's that sad Superman. Like you know, people. It's funny to me. Like people gave Kylo Ren such a hard time about being like emo, but like this Superman, like he is sad.
Well, hold on.
He was always angry or like
sad
sad.
or angry, yeah.
It's just through the whole movie. There was not a. I don't think I saw a smile on his face unless he was in the bathtub with Lois.
Yeah.
Oh, the bad.
That was
Gets
it.
brought down by Perry, constantly trying to do what news reporters are supposed to do, but he can't do it because Perry's like, no. Have you tackled the football game? No. Oops. But there's
Think
all
about it,
this.
the only time he had a smile on his face is when he was human, like acting human. That means being an alien just sucks.
Guys,
Everything
did I
about
tell
it's
this?
grim.
Did I tell the story last week about Lawrence Fishburne and my 14-year-old? Did I tell that story last week?
I don't think so.
Do we want to hear this? This sounds a little sketchy.
No, it's
a bad
funny.
intro to a story.
So me and my oldest boy, who's fixing to be 14, went and saw it, and Lawrence Fishburne's character comes on the screen, and his only reference to who Lawrence Fishburne is, hey, is that the granddad off Blackish? I'm like, yeah. And I was thinking to myself, boy, I have failed you as a father. We got to watch some Matrix. You need some Morpheus, and you need some Furious Styles in your life.
Yeah.
I know Kung Fu. Show me.
You know, another thing that I think is missing is that Jimmy Olsen character who supposedly was killed in the first.
Yeah,
5
that
minutes.
was Jimmy. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's credited as him, but like, if I was talking to Adam about it today, and Adam was like, "Man, I'm telling you, that's not that Jimmy Olsen. That's just another guy named Jimmy Olsen."
Hey, Jimmy. That's little Jimmy. That's little Jimmy.
But you know, like I think that relationship is important. Just like in the first Man of Steel, they had Jenny Olsen. Do you know what I mean? And everybody was like, "Oh God."
Jenny.
But like, I think that relationship is important because that Superman having a buddy to kind of confide in is, I think, something that can show a little bit more of his character.
Next movie he'll have a dog.
Crypto.
Yeah, I'm okay with that actually.
Let me ask you guys this too. I mean, do you think like I know they're kind of counting on everybody to have seen like Man of Steel to kind of get some more background information, but do you feel like I feel like I wasn't invested enough emotionally in that character of Superman to have his death be a huge impact for me at the end. I don't know if anybody else got that too.
It impacted me because I wasn't expecting it, but I mean, as Nerd Rage says, I should have expected with Doomsday being there.
Right.
So
Yeah, I
here's
wasn't really all that affected by
I just didn't feel connected enough to be like had they killed that Batman, it would have been a bigger deal to me than them killing Superman.
I agree. I think if they would have invested as much into Superman as they did into Batman in this movie, it would have hit home a lot more.
Right.
So here's the deal in my mind about that. You know, unless you live under a rock, that there's going to be a shit ton more of these movies made. So it isn't like Superman's, go anywhere. And that's how I was like, well, he's dead, whatever, they're just setting up the next movie. But excuse me, you're right. If they had killed Batman, you'd been like, fuck me, out of the blue, And there's so many storylines they could tell that's like that. But speaking of people having to see things over and over or just having to see origins, and we talked about this somewhere, maybe on a hangout. At what point in time do we get a Batman movie where you don't have to have my parents got killed in an alley by a mugger? When is that? Is that no longer going to be necessary?
Yeah, I think for this movie, like the way that this movie is written, it is necessary because of the Martha moment. But I do, and so I'm torn on it because I feel like you know, the parents murder thing is like something that everybody kind of needs to add their little element to. Like every artist, like in the comics, whenever they touch that moment, they do like one little like nuanced thing that makes it theirs. So I understand the need to do it. I just don't think it was I don't. It needs to be there for the story of this movie, but like it also takes you out of the point of this movie, which is I think why it's frustrating.
You know what took me out of the movie? Bruce flying as a kid.
Yeah, I was like, oh god, no.
I thought the same thing. I turned to my brother. I'm like, oh fuck, this is gonna be terrible.
No wonder they hated it.
So Jay, I want to go back to you again because you had this. I think the strongest dislike of the movie. I mean, I'm gonna have you just go into that a little bit more.
Who, Jay or
you
James?
Jay or James?
James. Well, both of you guys, but James gave it a 3. I mean, to me, that's like, again, that's you hated it. That's my thing.
I mean, it was enjoyable. I didn't hate it. I just, at times, I don't like throwing in so many comic book references into one movie that you have to sit there and like, oh yeah, that's from, okay, this is based off Dark Knight, this is off of this, we got the Watchmen in here, we got the Watchmen, 3 times, or 4 times if you count the spray paint, and then the comedian, and then you got Night Owl, and then you got Silk Spectre in there, and you got all this type of stuff. It takes away from the movie, from trying to establish a world. Even the Star Wars reference at the end, I'm like, okay, that was out of the blue.
Which one was that?
That was
The
a Star Wars reference?
TK-421, the Lex Luthor jail.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that's
At the end.
cool.
DC has been making a lot of Star Wars references in their shows, even the TV shows, the WB shows.
Yeah.
Oh, this is by
remember
Warner
that.
Brothers.
But I mean, it just wasn't my Batman, so I was like, kind of like, okay. I didn't really. I won't take away from Ben Affleck. He betrayed Batman really well. I just wish that he was written a little bit better, as far as the interactions and all that. Superman, Doomsday's coming. We already saw that in the trailers. Knew he's gonna die. He's not dead. We hear a heartbeat at the end. Oh, they're friends now at the end. We need to go find the rest of the metahumans. Are you gonna help me, Wonder Woman? Okay. It just was really quickly to establish that friendship. And the joke with the Martha, the mom, it just, it was entertaining. It was cool to see DC finally make a movie, but it wasn't something, and maybe I'm used to the Marvel stuff, having it play out and, building up this thing, and I just didn't like it as much.
Jay Ruse, I want to go to you real fast. What was
So along what James said, I didn't understand why Batman hated Superman for a year and a half so much that he was willing to kill him. And again, you guys said he was an alien, so if that's what you're saying, then I guess I'll.
You're saying
go
he's
along with
racist?
that.
You're saying he's racist?
Could
Yeah.
be, could be.
No, not at all.
But I don't see that as my Batman. My Batman wouldn't have done that. The Superman also really quick to kill. Luthor pisses him off. He gets on that helipad and is about to blast him with his fucking heat ray vision.
Well, he's messing with his mom. Dude.
Yeah, I give him a pass on that because it is messing with his mom, which is the only thing he really has that ties him to this earth.
Yes, you're saying that for this movie, but would your Superman ever do that? You know what I mean?
You keep saying you're Superman, you're a Batman. What do you mean you're Superman?
Okay,
you're
so
Batman?
I grew up.
Are
with
you
Superman.
talking about 1980s Superman?
I'm talking about
1990s Batman.
Just-
Hey, how are
I'm talking
you
about
doing?
the 4 seasons of Justice League Superman. I'm talking about the 2 seasons of Superman the animated series. I'm talking about.
Okay, do we realize where these characters are supposed to be placed
cartoon.
in the comic verse? Batman
I've
has
never
gray
seen-
hair. It's older Batman. It's an older Superman. It's
Wait.
different. It's not what you're used to. You're not gonna pick up a Neil Adams Batman and say, "I want my Batman right here to be in this fucking movie." It's not happening. It's not gonna be there.
Where are they going to go with this? More of an older Batman, though.
I mean, I thought
How long
the
is it going to last?
I thought it was great. That older Batman is as close as we're ever gonna get to the Dark Knight Returns Batman. That grumpy old, I fucking had it, I can't take it no more. The Silver Age Dust Mites Batman is in the house.
And he does things from behind the scenes, though. So I mean,
And I do agree. There's not enough detective. There wasn't enough, who he was and how he was a dumb idiot and didn't realize this shit's going around all behind him. I do agree, Jay.
I do wish that Luthor was better too, though.
Oh,
We'll get on that.
Let's
We'll get on that in a
go.
minute. We're not there yet.
the one thing I wanted to mention, I think it was the Martha thing. I like that. Like I know that it's become like a meme thing, but like as like an avid reader of Batman and Superman, like I've always, like even when I'm talking to people about Batman and Superman prior to this movie, when I start talking about Wayne's parents, I'm like, yeah, Thomas and Martha. That's Superman's mom. That can't be right.
I never realized that, bro, until the movie.
Yeah, like I always knew it, but like I always wondered why they never made that connection between the characters.
I never realized
And
that.
It was nice for me to finally see that. Like, and I liked that it did remind Batman of his mission.
Exactly. That's how I saw it too.
And the other thing that I liked about, just to talk about Jay Rue's point for a minute, like the, making that decision to kill Superman. Like everything that Batman does, he does, and it's funny that I'm having this conversation, man, because like I've said this all the time. Like I find myself defending this movie to people that hate it and criticizing it to people that love it, which makes me think I think it's my 6 score is about right. But like the reason why I think that scene is kind of pivotal for him is that like I think that all that shit with Lex and why he should be fighting Superman and all that, like I don't care about any of that, with Lex setting up the kryptonite and all that kind of stuff. Don't care about any of that. But like when he saves that little girl and he realizes that these aliens have made this girl an orphan, like that's what does it for him, I think. Yep. Because like his whole mission at the end of the day is to prevent what happened to him happening to anyone else. Yep. And like that's the ultimate failure on his part.
And he can control it before Superman. Whether you have supervillains or whatnot, whatever he's dealing with, he can defeat some that to his. This is something that's out of his control.
Yeah.
It's a being that can do this.
And he is like, he's a huge xenophobe. You know what I mean? Like he has a respect for Clark and a friendship with Clark, but there's always this voice in the back of his head that says, "This is an alien with uncontrollable power, potentially."
It's like your dad saying, the trust your friends but cut the deck or whatever.
That's some real shit.
All right, well let's talk about Lex Luthor, because that's kind of really everybody's big point of contention. Was he
got a unique perspective here, but go ahead, Jess.
Well, and I want to talk about something too, but let me just ask everybody this question real fast: was he garbage as a Lex Luthor, or was he just garbage as an actor and as a character in the movie?
I'm gonna say actor. Like
really?
think, yeah, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I think now I don't know if it's purely his fault. Like maybe he came on set and gave a different performance, and Zach was like, "No, like let's clown it up." But
it's possible.
What like Lex's actions in this movie are very Lex.
Yeah.
Like everything that he does is very, very Lex Luthor. And even the dialogue is Lex. But how that dialogue is delivered is something totally different.
Yeah.
So let me ask you. Oh, sorry, Chris, were you going to say something?
I just going to be honest. I didn't mind it at all. I liked the little, I don't even know what you want to call it, the little spoiled ADD brat.
Yes.
I didn't mind. The world we live in, those are the meek shall inherit the earth. To an extent, that is dead on the fucking. And when the meek have unlimited funds and are have a inferiority complex, they blow up the fucking Capitol.
The kid that wanted everything, but he didn't get any love.
That is exactly what it is, Dust.
Yep,
and that's the world we live in. So let's just say your dad.
I think with us it's not the Lex we're used to, because the Lex we're used to is a grown man. This is a I don't know what they're trying to play, 25 to 35.
Even then, he could have pulled off that Lex. It's not so much about his age. It's just
hang on. Is this the Lex from the comics, or is this the Lex from the comic Son?
Yeah. See,
even if it's the Lex from the comic Son,
yes,
this isn't an accurate Alexander either.
Mm.
Like that's another problem. Like an Alexander's more like a Kylo Ren type of character, but he's not that. Like, and I agree with you that it does make sense for like the millennial cry bully bullshit, but like,
Thanks, bud.
but that's not. Call him
Well,
call him Joe then. You know what I mean?
Well, I just want to go on record right now. I am not the biggest DC fanboy. I read some comics back in the day. I was more of a Marvel guy. So a lot of things that maybe I should be knowing about that's in this movie, I don't know.
Well, let me ask you a question. When did you stop kind of reading comics?
I stopped reading
What age?
about.
What age?
I'm just gonna give a fucking date.
Okay.
Don't try to date the Silver Age, baby. It was about 94, 95-ish.
Okay, so I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that you were a teenager.
No,
I don't know if that's true or not.
No.
He was 35, Bobby.
I was 62 and a half.
Okay, fair enough.
There's no date.
Here is my opinion on DC. I think that Marvel, and I don't mean to piss off Marvel fanboys because I
Oh,
know
yeah.
how they get, but I think that I love Marvel as well, and it's possible to love both, contrary to popular belief.
It's hard, but you can do it.
But exactly, I think that most kids fall in love with comics through Marvel. Like you fall in love with Spider-Man, you fall in love with Wolverine, and then that leads to Marvel, and you start learning about Captain America, you start learning about the other characters, but it's always Wolverine and Spider-Man. And then as you become an adult, like 18 to 25, that's when you discover DC, and that's when you become a DC fan. I feel like usually, and it doesn't mean that it'll always happen, but I feel like most people that are big DC fans, that's when they become fans, and it all kind of happens the same way.
It was never like that with me. I mean, maybe I was just. It was the only DC that I remembered. Like early days was like I was a big in the Hall of Justice, the Super Friends as a kid, because I'm a kid from the 70s and 80s, you know, and it's like I was always a Marvel guy. I dabbled here and there. I knew the basis of stories, but I wasn't one of those guys that said, I need to buy the Superman books, I need to get the Batman books, I need to get these books. It wasn't until later on, after I was out of comics, that Rolling Steel would hit me up, yo, you got to read this Batman story, or you got to read this story, because he was kind of a DC guy. He was a big Batman guy, so... I just want to say that going into this, that I am not that DC fanboy, and I hate to say that fucking word, but I'm not that DC guy to say, well, I'm going to sit down and watch this movie and critique this, this isn't like this isn't like this, because there's maybe some things that I don't know that's happening in the books or had happened in the books. I just know the basics.
Would you have liked this performance from Jesse Eisenberg as the Punisher in Daredevil Season 2?
Come on. You're comparing the son of Lex Luthor in the DC Comics to the Punisher?
No, that's probably not fair, but like...
Okay,
I see the
did
point.
Did I like everything about him? No, but I did not see him as Lex Luthor as the Lex Luthor that I know.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, if this is Lex, like, let's say this is proper Lex, because I feel like...
Was Kevin Spacey proper Lex?
No.
No.
But
Kevin Smith...
Hackman proper?
But Kevin Smith is a proper Lex.
Back in my day, Gene Hackman was a proper Lex.
Right, and he is a proper Lex, and they're both...
That's my era.
That's like that old 80s
So
mad
right.
scientist Lex. But that Lex is not who Lex is anymore.
Nope.
And
So the Lex we have now is the fucking Mark Zuckerberg mad scientist. That's what he is.
But Mark Zuckerberg, if he would have played it the way he played Mark Zuckerberg, it would have been a closer performance.
And
Wow.
and Bobby being completely transparent, I did not even put that together. Then I was just using him as the king of the millennials. I swear to God. I mean, I know Eisenberg played him, but in my mind, that's where I went. That's where I went. So if Mark Zuckerberg decided to be a supervillain right now, you know, we'd probably be a little fucked.
You know,
Yeah.
there was definitely things I did not
Everybody's
like about the performance, and I'm not the biggest fan of the dude, but, you know, if this is the son of Lex Luthor, who was running this corporation, the big guy making all this money, and the kid never got any fucking love, you know, this could have been Batman. If Batman's parents...
But that is the point, though. Like
You know
that's
what
the
I'm
same
saying?
conversation. Like we
If
say,
Batman's parents lived, they never died, you know, Bruce Wayne could have been Lex.
we say that all the time. Like he
Oh,
would
okay. Yeah, exactly.
he would have been. Like they are
yeah.
very similar, but I feel like this Lex is like always one step away from just putting like a pointy party hat on, like the elastic strap that goes underneath the chin.
It was a
yeah.
little extreme.
So I agree that it was his acting. Like his lines could have been delivered as Lex Luthor, but they were delivered as the Joker, kind of. You know what I mean?
Or the
Yeah,
Riddler.
Or the
Yeah, well, that's
Riddler,
here's
like
what I had to say
more
about that.
crazy than serious.
Is
Crazy.
I thought acting wise, I think he did a good job. Like just in the way that he acted, I don't think it was a good job as Lex Luthor. But how you just mentioned the Riddler, like I was talking with Tyler from Toy Detox, and then I know Bobby, you guys kind of mentioned it, but it is more like the Riddler. So go back and say, let's say it's not Lex, and let's say he's the Riddler. Like that makes sense to me.
Yep.
And then what makes even more sense to me, knowing about Hollywood, is I kind of had the feeling like maybe that was the case. And along the lines, they were going to have a Lex and they were going to have a Riddler, and somewhere they said, you know what, fuck it, we don't have the budget, let's just mesh the two.
Well,
And
they
just you guys
They had the question marks, didn't they, in there?
yeah, so-
exactly, and that question mark is on one of the Polaroids that's sent to Bruce.
And as the Riddler, that performance would have been perfect.
I agree.
So I think it makes me think like, man, he was probably prepping to be the Riddler the whole time.
But then I'm not okay with the Riddler being a Luthor. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
I
so
think
either
that
way, I
was-
got a
yeah.
problem with it.
I think that was a Hollywood change. You know what I mean? I don't think that's necessarily his.
I don't
I think
see
he was
that.
going to be the Riddler.
I
I don't
just-
think he was going to be a Luthor.
Except
I just wanna-
Snyder.
When Bobby said, like, you told me that Lex did have a son, I didn't even know that. I'm
I
not
didn't
that
either.
big of a DC comic fan that I even knew
It's like
that
a
Lex did have a son.
It's a different universe. But it's
Yeah,
DC.
but you know what? It just
Yeah,
seems like
it's-
that's the DC laid back. You know, that's their thing. We have 65 different universes. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, it's like what Marvel's doing now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Exactly.
Marvel's thing used to be like the way that they retconned everything is it was a dream, or
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
it
it
was
was
something
something like that. That's how they retconned everything.
It was Bobby Ewing in the shower.
And back in the day, it was always DC. There was a crisis on Infinite Earths.
Well, see, that's the big thing. Like
Always
that,
a crisis.
Right.
Always a crisis. There's
No,
always.
but that was the first one. Like that was the first. Like the reason why that book is fucking like crazy important.
Oh, the book was great, man. I read that book because everybody told me about it, and that's when I started dabbling into DC.
But that was the reason. Like they were the first ones to do it, and that's how they explained how Batman changed. How you went from the Batman that did use guns initially to the come along chum Batman to the Dark Knight Batman to this is that they're all different Batmen.
It linked the generations.
Exactly. They're all coexisting at the same time on different universes, and it's just what DC has allowed you to see, which was like a brilliant move at the time. But now everybody's doing it. Like Marvel's doing it. There's the 616 universe. There's the other universe. There's the cinematic universe. There's you know.
So we talked about this earlier, Bobby and James. I don't remember if it was on a Hangout. Maybe on a Hangout. Are we okay with a DC cinematic universe that is a little bit of everything and a whole lot of its own thing, kind of like the way the Marvel universe, cinematic universe is? I mean, obviously that's Lex Luthor in whatever capacity at this point for this franchise. So love him, hate him, it is what it is. There he is. You know, Aquaman's hanging out in Rex and turbo swimming. You know, with tattoos.
I think, and I'm not trying to bogart everything, but I just keep having a fucking opinion about it. Go figure. But like, I think that I think that like. I'm more like I definitely want it to be its own thing, but it has to still kind of be true to the spirit. And I feel like the Lex is the one thing that's really not true to the spirit. Like, if you look at, I say this all the time, I use this example all the time because people love this fucking guy, and I think he's fine, but whatever. Like Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. Like, that is not Iron Man. That's not how Iron Man is. It's not how he operates. It's not how he talks to people. It's not how he moves through situations socially. That's not Iron Man.
Is that New Universe Iron Man?
Well,
is that Ultimate's Iron Man?
Well,
Exactly.
It does have some ultimates in it, but
There
it's
you go.
still not as jokey. But now this Iron Man has become so popular that now it is Iron Man in the
Right.
comics.
and in the cartoons and stuff too. I was gonna say it is now. You're saying it's not the Iron Man, but it is now.
Like
Yeah,
Iron
Man has changed who Iron Man is.
I was just saying the other day, it was like I really didn't like the third installment on Iron Man. Like extremist shit. I don't know nothing about that. It did nothing for me. Show me fucking Tony Stark passed out with a bottle of vodka.
See that?
Getting smacked around by fucking Rhodes.
What's funny is
that's the stories I want to see.
That's what I remembered. And to be honest,
that's where they need to go.
When I initially heard that Robert Downey Jr. had been cast as Iron Man, knowing what I knew about Robert Downey Jr., I'm like,
exactly.
This is fucking brilliant.
They nailed it.
He said that he wouldn't do it because it was too close to home.
You know what? Fuck that. That's the stories we need to do.
And not only that, but it's called acting, motherfucker.
Yeah, because this new universe shit or whatever the fuck they call it, it's not working. Well, I guess it is because they're making.
Yeah, it's making money hand over fist.
Yeah, I guess it's a dumbed down version of what we used to know.
It's just different. I don't even feel like it's dumbed down. But Extremis is like that book is like arguably like the best Iron Man book. Like a lot of times if you go into a comic book shop and you're like, look, I want to get into Iron Man, where do I start? People point you to that book.
I would say Armor Wars.
But that book is great. But that book is not what we got in that movie. That movie's some totally different shit. It has that little like, the disease type thing, but like that's not how they did fucking the Mandarin. Like, that's not how they like
don't even start with that shit.
Yeah, well,
it's a nightmare.
Yeah, well,
I fucking love that.
But that's a good example. I
love that shit with the actor and all that. I fucking loved it. I thought it was brilliant.
Oh God,
I thought it was a
we're gonna have to agree to disagree on that.
Yeah, we're gonna live that.
Nobody.
Back to Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, so let's get back here. So,
but I think that's a similar comparison. That Mandarin and that Lex.
Wow, nice.
Well, hell, I like them both. So
okay, good.
So let's do this. If let's and I think Bobby, not to chief on what you guys said on Nerd Rage, I think you covered some of this similarly. So the lines he said were okay. Let's just play Hollywood hotshot here for a minute. Who would you have gotten to deliver those lines in a convincing manner?
All right,
or could have Eisenberg done it if he hadn't been being a narcissistic millennial?
I'm not exceptionally good at the actors, the game, and casting. But so I always default to Gary Oldman because I think he can play anything.
Well, is he okay to be as young in his?
No, this is a joke, just a joke. But I mean, I've seen the guy play a Black Panther.
Can I just jump in? It wasn't Eisenberg. He was testing for Olsen.
I don't know.
He was testing for something else.
Yeah,
and they said no, it was something else in the movie. I think it was the Jimmy Olsen character that was supposed to be the CIA agent or something like that, and then they switched everything around and then they pushed him in for that.
But I think there's a ton of people that could have played him. Like I think Tom Hardy could have played him.
Tom Hardy could play anything.
That's also true.
He could play every character in that movie.
Don't let Tom Hardy play any more DC characters.
The red capes are coming. The red capes are coming.
Tom Hardy.
But I mean, he's
how's that? The tea.
I was born in it.
I was born in that tea.
Embrace the fire. Sorry, I can do Bane all day.
You'll just have to imagine fire. But yeah, I think that he could have played. I think that there's a lot of people that could have played him, man. Like I don't know.
I always thought they should have got the dude that played that Army Hammer guy that played the Winklevoss twins in Social Network. He would have been a great Lex.
I would normally say that, but I just want to leave the Social Network out of it at this point.
I'm thinking Telly Savalas, but
who is that?
He's still alive, Columbo.
Oh.
But he's got to use the sucker. No, I'm kidding. I mean, there's I don't know. I'm just completely okay with that. I'm just completely okay with it.
Keanu Reeves.
All day.
Dead.
Whoa. Hey,
you have to kill the
building.
Listen,
Hey guys, just to switch it up. You guys saw that deleted scene, right? The one with
that was cool.
Now, do you guys think? And I was listening to Nerd Rage. Do you really think that's Steppenwolf or?
It is Steppenwolf. Looks just like him,
what about?
for the most part.
Yeah, but what about Darkseid's father? He had the headdress.
Didn't he kill his father?
I don't remember Steppenwolf having that big.
Well, that's the new 52.
Like I said, I am okay. This is a new 52.
Like if you look at New 52, it's very similar.
All right, from an old school comic reader, the old school Steppenwolf didn't have any garb like that. His father had kind of like the headdress with the horns and all that. And if Lex was sitting here, absorbing all of that information to say, and that would be where I think would originated from, was to be from Darkseid's father. You know what I mean? Not his brother. You know?
Honestly, it looks like.
No, all right, Danny. Now we got.
Either way, I'm glad.
Here's the detective.
Yeah,
right
me
now.
too.
First of all, the less Lex, the better for me, and secondly, I feel like this movie already had too much going on, so one less bit of convolution is.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right, man. It was like what I told everybody. I enjoyed this movie a lot until it got to Doomsday. Once Doomsday came out to the end, it was good, but it was not needed. It could have been a separate entity. You know.
I actually like the Doomsday best in the movie.
God, it was terrible.
It was actually.
I was wrong.
Let's talk about the Doomsday. Like, let's just go. Let's run on that totally. Like, so J. Ruse, you liked it. Dust, you hated it.
Yep.
So I didn't. Where it got to at the end, I was okay with. But one of you guys said this, and as soon as I saw the initial develop when the character stood up, I'm like, that's a goddamn. What are those things from Lord of the Rings?
Cave troll.
Yeah. Look just like it.
Yeah.
That cracks me up.
I did like the fact that as it was born, it went out, it fought. As it was fighting and as it was getting hurt and getting slammed, it evolved.
I like that too.
You know what I mean?
That was
You started seeing the spikes, and I really don't know too much about Doomsday or about the character. I do know how it originated, and I do know what it can do, but you see the spikes popping, and it's like, all right, that's a little bit more than I know, and it seems like he's growing as he's fighting.
I like that. I dug that.
You get what I'm saying? That's what I felt with that.
And I also like how Batman fired that shot, like the kryptonite shot, and then was like, "All right, guys, that's all I got."
Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna say,
meme fodder across.
Before it gets lost in the mix, I'm not mad at Affleck.
Me neither.
Is anybody mad at Affleck here?
No, not at all.
No.
Anybody across the board? Anybody?
Nope.
All right. I fucking think he fucking nailed it. I just don't think he had the right fucking script. And this is a stupid moment, when he was fucking fighting Superman, he had to sink. You know what I mean? Anybody got the comment? Anybody want to say it?
What part?
When he's beating Superman up with the sink.
Oh, everything with the kitchen sink.
No, that's one of them.
Everything.
Let this sink in. It just seemed like there was a little bit of that in there, but no, I didn't want that. But it was really good. I really like Affleck.
Yeah, I think he did. I love that line. Like, you're not brave, men are brave.
Yes. Watching that tonight, I rewatched it before we did this.
That's some real Batman shit. Like, that is how Batman sees the world. Like, Batman thinks to me, like there's nothing fucking special about you, man. Like, you don't have to worry. You can go into a burning building and save a girl because the flames aren't going to hurt you. So who cares?
See, when I watched this, I saw it as a Batman just fought like the everyday criminals, and the Joker, which doesn't have superpowers. He's just a fucking maniac that does what he does. You know what I mean? And now he's finally in a world where there's more to it. It's not a guy with a gun anymore. It's not a guy with a bat. It's not a guy with a plan. It's a guy with superpowers. And now that's where he's like, oh, fuck, we got to fucking do something about this,
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
So let's talk a little bit about the other metahumans. What little we saw. Obviously, Lois is the key.
Flash.
Right.
J. Ruse?
Oh, good. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying J. Ruse is Flash.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was Yule.
Oh, that's even better. There's a combination between Yule and J. Ruse. Wow.
I read an article. I think Tattooed Devil posted it in our Facebook group, kind of explaining a little bit about that scene. Lois is the key. That explained it a little bit better to me. And I'm with Dust. I like a lot of the DC stuff, but I don't know it inside and out.
Yep.
A lot more versed on the Marvel. And you're right. As I'm older, I enjoy the more adult themes you get out of the DC universe.
You're lesser Silver Age.
Right. So I'm
Little lesser.
I'm
little
tarnished age, I guess. So
Bronze Age.
bronze, beautifully bronzed.
Like J. Ruse.
Right. Like there. So obviously that was the Flash coming back in time. We're assuming to warn. To Lois is the key, and then what does he says? I'm too. What does he say?
I'm too early. You were right about him.
He says, "Am I too soon?" And then he says, "I'm too soon."
He gets pissed
I
off.
love that moment.
It seems like he's like, "Fuck!
Yeah,
I'm
like,
too
it's
soon,
like,
man.
fuck. Like I had one chance to get this right.
Yep, and he blew it.
Yep, I love that.
But it may be maybe him going that sooner is going to make it.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, there we go. See, my man.
So that's what is it? You'll have to forgive my ignorance here. Is it the Flashpoint paradox storyline where they pull that from?
No, he goes through time in like every crisis.
Okay.
Crisis.
Look, any DC fan knows crisis times historically not a good time for the Flash.
Yeah, rinse, wash, repeat.
He dies in pretty much every crisis.
Yeah.
Nice. So we get the Flash. We get, in my opinion, that bizarro cyborg scene. I
like the cyborg.
That was one of my favorite moments of the film.
Now, do you think if they did the Steppenwolf scene and they tried to explain it a little bit more with the cubes, would that have worked more?
I think it would have theoretically, but I just don't think it was needed. I think that I think that the mystery surrounding that cyborg scene to be explained later on is good enough.
Exactly. Yeah. It could be something that could be like, this could be gold later.
Exactly.
All right. So cool. And I get what you're saying.
But I loved how it was just like the torso and the arm and the head, and he's like screaming in pain and like that. Like I think it was unnecessary. You know what I mean? But I think I loved it as a fanboy. Like that's one of those moments. Like I think it was Victory Saber that mentioned it. Like the fan service that's in this film.
Yeah.
That was total fan service. But I mean, it scratched a big fanboy itch for me.
Do you think Cyborg's gonna have like a Skynet decal on his shoulder or something like that?
Oh
he's
yeah.
a very, very cool character, man, and like
his dad helped make Skynet.
Exactly.
Yes. That's the point of the actor being in.
Yeah. Which was a great actor.
Miles Dyson.
Hold on, Chris, do it again. Let's get a little more.
I don't know how much longer I can hold this up.
I mean, as soon as I saw him, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Like I've seen that. I've seen T2 probably 1,000. I remember when I was a kid, I watched that shit like every fucking day. I love it. But that guy's. You wouldn't think he'd be typecast for that little bitty part, but every time I see that dude, I'm like, there's old Miles.
Miles Dyson. So what does everybody think? I don't know if we can go one by one, but what does everybody think that Flash scene means? I mean, you've heard a lot of people say it's going to be the Injustice storyline where Superman goes nuts. I mean, do you think that's accurate? You think they're going to go that route? Would they go that route? That's so.
I related it more to Flashpoint, but I mean, it seems like from what little we know, it's more Injustice-like.
Well, from what everybody's saying, that the whole nightmare thing isn't that part of the Injustice, because everybody was saying that. I was downloading the comics and I started reading them, and I'm like getting through like year one, and I'm like, you can see where it's going towards that. So is Injustice going to be the way they're going on this? Did that make a big enough? Like I said, again, not being a DC guy, did that make enough presence where they would base their franchise on?
I don't think it has made it, like maybe, but I don't think it has made enough of an impact to be that. But it's one of the more popular books since New 52 started, even though it's an Elseworlds kind of thing.
Yeah. Do you think that's like an easy cop out for them to just say, "Fuck it, we're just going to go with this book because it's recent and everybody likes it"? And
no,
the little kids will buy tickets.
I actually think it would be ballsy because it is such an Elseworlds thing. Like it's not regular normal continuity. I think it would be a ballsy move, but I don't think that they're going to go that route because that involves an evil Superman and all this shit. Like they got enough problems. Like people still don't know who the fuck Superman is. That's what's one of the most frustrating things to me.
So maybe they use that storyline in the dream sequence and all that stuff. He's gonna make him change it and make a different one. It's gonna set that Doc Brown alternate universe type shit. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
Maybe, but I think that just Superman and Batman becoming, super friends is enough.
You did there.
Is enough to change all that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everything that we see that's like a future glimpse, the moment that he doesn't kill him with the spear, everything changes. And also it's Lois that comes in, right? It's Lois that comes in and says, "Don't kill him."
His name is his mother, yeah.
So maybe Lois is the one, maybe saying Lois is the key to all this. Maybe it is that moment.
But where's the "you were right to fear him"?
Yeah, but who knows who he's talking about, I
That's
guess.
true.
Like,
Yeah, it could be.
Well,
yeah, it
because
could
in
go
that
anywhere.
dream sequence, didn't you see the parademons and then the Omega?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was totally dark side based.
So
So I don't know. I think it might be a little premature to. I think that once again, I don't want to tip my hat to the guy that gave it a 3 necessarily, but I think that
Who was that again?
I think that was definitely a fan service thing to show Flash on the treadmill jumping through time, and even to have Bruce wake up and then wake up again to make fans ask, like, well, was that part of dream? Was that all a
The
dream?
funny thing about when he woke up, there was like papers flying behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there was a big wind in there, so that made you say like it wasn't a dream,
Right.
unless Alfred's making it rain behind him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's like,
Alfred turned the AC on right at that
yeah,
moment.
Matt's the way. I'm going to.
Alfred farted is what it was.
Yeah.
How did everybody feel? And not to jump around, but how did everybody feel about Wonder Woman, and specifically the accent?
I
She was
didn't care for
great. I liked it a lot.
I didn't mind it. I mean, I honestly, I didn't recognize that chick from any of the promo pictures. But as soon as I heard her talk, I'm like, oh, that's old girl from Fast and the Furious.
Yep.
I just did not put 2 and 2 together at all.
I loved her, but I also think she was completely 100% unnecessary.
I think she was too kick-ass.
Oh, hell no.
You don't think she was too powerful?
Hell no.
She was way too powerful for me.
No, dude.
that's Wonder Woman.
That's
Wonder
Wonder
Woman.
Woman.
Like I said, the only Wonder Woman I know is tomorrow in the Hall of Justice.
And like that moment when
Shout out to Ted Knight.
when Doomsday knocks her back and she lands and she looks up and smiles,
Yeah.
like that's fucking Wonder Woman.
The warrior princess is out.
It
Yeah,
just
she
seemed like
She likes a good scrap match.
that battle. She was fucking running it, man. Like
Yeah,
those dudes were just like, what the fuck?
And she's the one they always have to watch because she's the one that's always ready to kill somebody.
Bloodlust. Yeah, she got that bloodlust.
Yeah, like that's the one they always have to rein back
And you know
in.
what's funny is like when I'm reading this Injustice line, like how she's so fucking with Superman and like she's like coaxing him on. Yeah, you need to do this. Fuck that guy. Kill this guy. Fuck
New
this
52
one.
bullshit.
Kill this douchebag. She's like really aggressive in that shit. I'm just
Yeah.
like, wow, that's not the Wonder Woman I fucking know.
Well, she killed Maxwell Lord. We won't get into all that shit, but she killed him right before Infinite Crisis, which was like probably the best modern Crisis ever written. And when she killed him, it was like after that they started making her like always teetering on the fence of do I do it again? Do I not do it?
Somebody needs to put that bitch back in the kitchen.
She's awesome, but I loved her depiction. But the only thing all right, so plot wise, the only reason why she's there, the only purpose that she serves to move that movie forward, is to stop Batman from being killed by Doomsday with the gauntlet block. But the one way you could get around all that shit is an ejection seat button.
Right.
True.
And then she's totally fucking pointless. And that's saying it from a person who loved her in the movie. I just have to admit that she serves no role.
Well, and especially that, why didn't she do anything prior? She's been around since World War I or whatever.
Mhm.
And so she
It's
saw
like
the whole. She should have seen the Superman Zod fight. Maybe
That's
this might.
true, but we don't know. Her situation with Man is very sketchy.
We're gonna keep that for the solo Wonder Woman movie, and then
So
that's where we're gonna find that out.
Yeah, we don't know what role she's decided to take in interfering with Man's affairs.
You know, and I just caught today when I was watching it again. She said something about when they were talking about the drive she stole. She goes, "I didn't care. I just wanted to find something that a picture that Lex has that he stole from me or something like that.
And
Lex has of me."
Well, she said something.
And then it made sense. I never caught that the first time I watched it.
And is this prior to her mom dying, or is her mom still alive? You know,
Right.
is she ruling and saying, "Hey, you
Oh,
can't go see Man," or that?
Yeah, we don't know.
Yep.
But at the end, though, she did say something to Batman that she was in the battle with man, but then she fell out because of the wars and all that. I think she said something to.
Yeah, there is
Bruce at the
something
time.
like that there. Yeah.
I didn't know Wonder Woman got that deep, man.
Yeah, like actually, what's cool? Like aside, like one of my favorite things, like there's a book where Batman and Superman go to, I'm not gonna say it, her place, and it starts with a T. There's like the little island she's on. I say it a different time, or Themyscira or whatever. I say it a different time fucking every time.
Tuscaloosa. Oh.
Tennessee. She she has Batman and Superman on there. And they're like the only two men that have been there since Steve Trevor. And Superman is like floating around so that he doesn't have to touch the soil and like tarnish the soil with man's presence. Batman's just walking around like he didn't give a fuck. Just classic character moments. But yeah, I think that like her movie's going to explain a lot. But I think that just seeing that picture of her in World War I would have been enough. Like if we're talking plot.
Just there. Yeah,
I agree.
And that picture, like, dude, I've talked about this on Nerd Rage, but it's worth repeating. That's a picture of a woman wearing a Roman gladiator type suit, standing next to World War I soldiers, and there's no fucking reason why that shit should look good or be believable.
Yeah.
But when you see it on the big screen, you do have that like, oh shit, like you buy totally in.
Yep.
So that's a credit to those filmmakers because that's a hard scene to pull off, I think. And Hans Zimmer.
So looking at their calendar, this is what DC has lined up over the next several years for us. So next year this year we get Suicide Squad.
Yep.
Which apparently they're doing some refilming some scenes.
I'm calling April Fools on that.
You think so? Okay. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really read the books. I did download some of the books to kind of catch up on what's going on. It looks like I'm going to enjoy the hell out of this movie. It just looks like a lot of fun. Is this going to be an R-rated movie, do you think?
No, it's not. It's PG-13.
It's not PG-13. Okay. So after that, so we get that in August.
Is Batman supposed to be in that Suicide Squad?
Yeah, he's in the trailers.
Yeah, okay. In some capacity. So after that, we get Wonder Woman, June of next year. We get the first Justice League movie, November of next year, and then we start going deep here. March, and they actually have dates for this. So March 23rd, 2018, we get a Flash movie. And then we get the Aquaman. Say it, Dust.
Water guy.
Water guy. We get the water guy.
Yeah. Hey, Waterman.
So we'll have to tell.
Waterman.
I'll have to tell my brother how excited he will be on his birthday, July 27th in 2018.
I do have to say I like the fact that
a Whitefish movie.
they put the tattoos on him instead of having the chainmail stuff. I like that. It's a little modern.
It's an interesting take for sure.
It's a little modern. Yeah.
In an unspecified date in 2018, we get a solo Batman movie, which I'm going to be honest, I am super excited about. I'd be fine with a prequel, not a prequel, a movie that takes place before the Batman and Superman.
It is.
See, you know what? I'm very confused like this because I'm not a big DC guy. I don't know the books. Where is this fucking Batman from? Is this Batman? It's definitely not from the Nolan, right?
No,
it's not. It's not from the Nolan, but yet you see the mansion burned down.
Well, here's some
kind of like I don't know where this Batman comes from.
Nobody really does. You know?
Then I really hear something like, "Well, that's going to be the Keaton Batman later on."
I don't think so.
Well, this is
I'm like, what the fuck?
But Keaton's Batman killed a lot of motherfuckers too.
Yeah, well.
I mean, are you guys okay? I know, Bobby. You said as long as it kind of stays somewhat true to the character, but are you guys okay if it is just it has no reference other than the fact that it's Batman and he has a core set of rules of operation, but other than that, it's kind of its own thing.
Why would they set it up where the mansion is burnt down? There's something there. Like I said, I don't read the books, so I don't know. So please, someone help me.
I don't think it's based on anything.
I don't remember that in Dark Knight. Dark Knight.
Let me read this.
They had the mansion,
And if they're doing a prequel, man, you're gonna get it in there, I'm sure.
Yeah, and the
prequel's
prequel's supposed to be
to show it.
I agree.
So this article is on denofgeek.us. I've never heard of this, but Warner Brothers promised their superhero schedule didn't include Batman or Superman solo films, but didn't rule out the possibility of them down the line. Well, it looks like down the line might mean 2018. Now this next line's interesting based on his recent work. Ben Affleck will direct and star in a solo Batman movie. He will also co-write the screenplay with comic scribe Jeff Johns. The latest unconfirmed details on this include that it might be an adaptation. It might be based on Under the Red Hood. It's a story of how the second Robin, Jason Todd, returned from the dead after his murder at the hands of the Joker, which, based on what we've seen, becomes a brutal vigilante known as the Red Hood.
So that means if they're going in that line, if Jason Todd is supposed to be the Joker in Suicide Squad, we're not going to know for another fucking 16 years.
I don't think he's the Joker in Suicide Squad personally.
So moving on past Batman here, April 5th of 2019.
There's nothing to see here, folks.
I'm trying to get through this list, and we can go back. We get Shazam, and then in June of 2019 we get Justice League Part 2, and in April 3rd, 2020 we get Cyborg, and then June 29th of 2020 the Green Lantern Corps.
That's my problem.
If they want to fucking catch up, they need to ramp it up.
They also mentioned.
You guys think they should have made a sequel to Superman before making this Batman vs Superman movie?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Really?
I will say, kind of goes off the rails here. I mean, if you use some oddball stuff, it looks like they're maybe trying to go after the Guardians of the Galaxy type, some oddball characters and stuff. So
like fucking the Green Lantern man, could be so good. Especially if Jeff Johns seems to be involved in all this shit, and John's run on Green Lantern is some of the best shit ever done in comics.
Yeah.
And if they go that route, but the problem is I feel like Green Lantern needs to be introduced in this Justice League movie, or he needs to have a movie before this Justice League movie. He's just pivotal, man. It bums me out to think that the first time we'll see him might be fucking 2020. I'll be fucking coming up.
Well, hang on.
I know, man. That's why I say I'll be dead by the fucking time that comes out.
This says we've heard bits and pieces indicating the Green Lantern won't even show up until the end of Justice League, or possibly even Justice League 2.
Hopefully, it's the end of Justice League.
So, they bring up a good point. By the time 2020 rolls around, a decade will have passed since the last movie. And the character won't be considered so radioactive by the studio.
No, but people are over that shit. I don't feel like if they were look, we got a Green Lantern movie coming out this year, I don't think people would be like, oh man, here we go. I think people would be like, all right, here's a fresh start. I don't feel like they would do they're not doing that with Spider-Man after that Electro nightmare.
Yep, that was real quick.
People are ready. People are ready to move on. They're forgiving now.
I mean, how long did it go from the Maguire to the new one? It wasn't that long at all.
Wasn't that long, no.
Not at all, man. Not enough where I forgot about it.
Well, the reason they had to do that is Tobey Maguire destroyed himself making the movie and couldn't do it again. That's why they had to reboot. Yeah, he couldn't physically do it anymore.
Really?
Have you seen him doing anything physical? I mean, he's a fucking Cider House Rules kind of guy now. What did he do? Fucking wasn't when he's riding horses. That's the most physical thing he's done.
Yeah.
So you're saying it was too rigid, the workouts got to him and just ruined it?
No, I think he got.
No, it wasn't the fact that there was 65 fucking villains in one movie and it was just fucking god awful. That did have nothing to do with it.
I'm not saying that didn't have anything to do with it, but
I'm sure that had a lot to do with it.
I'm saying, I mean, I don't know. I just don't see why they needed to reboot it 4 fucking times in 10 years.
It's too much.
That's what I'm giving a reason.
Too much.
I don't know, but I think that people. I don't think anybody would be hung up on that Reynolds film. I don't think people would be like, oh, here we go. Where's Ryan Reynolds? I think people would just understand that it's time to move on.
They're happy to get rid of that.
He's Deadpool, man.
And now with BvS, do you think they cram too much in?
Yes.
Yes. Anybody?
Yeah, no, I agree. And we
is it the fact that we need to catch up to them?
I think so.
That's how I feel. I feel like they have so much planned, and honestly, to think about. And I know this is, but think like Bobby had said it. Think about seeing something in 2020 when you're like, "Fuck, I don't got time to wait that long." Yeah. You know what I mean? That seems. Just,
yeah, exactly. So that's why
might
I say
as well be 2054.
If they're gonna jump, if they're gonna jump into this game, throwing it all together to catch up, then they should just keep that momentum and just keep pumping them out.
Yeah,
Fucking
and I mean,
2, 3, 4
That's
year,
why,
man.
that's
Just
why
keep
they
going.
put that's why they put that calendar out so they can see so that fans could see, hey, they're gonna be making this movie, so something to look forward to. But still, something
Or
3
they get
years
an
out.
outcry and know that they need to speed it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked everything about this movie until Doomsday came in.
let me.
Do you-
Uh,
Go ahead.
I just want to ask one question to the Jays. You guys didn't enjoy the movie? You gave it less than 5. Do you have an issue with the tone?
No. No.
Beautiful. See, that's what I like to hear, because a lot of the critics bash the tone. You know, it's not fun. There's no jokes. Where's all my jokes?
I don't
Where's
need
a
it. No,
raccoon?
no.
Save that for Marvel, man.
I need
Save
a
that for the Marvel.
raccoon.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I need a
It have to
raccoon.
be fun.
I need a Michael Jackson dance.
No, I think there was enough humor. I laughed a couple of times with certain things that happened or certain things were said. I giggled a little bit. You know,
And
I thought that was cool.
That's one of my favorite things about this movie. That's what gets this movie most of the score in my book, is that it does take itself seriously.
Yep.
Well, yeah,
and you
that's-
say, "Oh shit, I can't believe they did that." You know,
It's the first comic movie that's not made for kids. It's made for
True.
adults. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
nice.
But they didn't need that. I mean, maybe some people like it, but when Wonder Woman showed up, the whole interaction, she with you.
Oh, I totally
yeah.
agree.
It's like
That to me
nah.
goes back to
That
where
was-
Batman
they
looks
should-
just kind of dope.
that
they
was-
should never have dropped that in the trailer.
That was
That and-
trailer. That was made for the trailer. That's
Yeah,
the
but
only
it would have
reason.
killed in the theater if they
And the
didn't drop that.
capes. I didn't need the capes either.
Yeah.
I can tell on account of the capes. I'm like, shut up.
Really.
I'm a friend of your son's.
Yeah, but like I said, as soon as the Doomsday came in and everything else, I did not hate it, but I enjoyed the build up, the storyline, and the build up to there.
All right.
Here's
so-
something really quickly.
Yo.
The scene with Clark and his dad building the rock, whatever the hell he was building. I mean, was there a point, or was that something that really stood out? That I don't know. I didn't really get a whole.
Kevin Costner had it in his contract that he would be in any and all sequels.
Yeah, he's got to work. Any
I
movie that
have
Kevin
no- I
Costner's
have no
in,
idea.
he's got to fucking drop
Especially
a fucking
one-
cornfield. He's got to fucking swim in water.
Yeah,
Like,
he's gotta-
His dad didn't mean anything in the Man of Steel
I agree.
either, and
I
so
agree.
like, what was the point of bringing him back into BvS to kind of
I
set
think
him straight or what?
I
That
think
whole
it's I
scene
think
was
it's
weird.
a character beat for Superman.
Yeah, I think it's more to link him back with he's human. It's his humanity.
Yeah.
I think that's how you link it back. And again, the only thing that ties really Superman to this world is his mom and his dad. That he has an Earth mother and an Earth father that he would
Yeah.
potentially kill for. Well,
And-
his mom at
and
least.
the
And
whole
not to
thing
go
was-
too deep, because I think they could have done without all the dream sequences personally, but not to go too deep. But I think the fact that he's constantly, like, he's working, like he's building that thing.
Yeah, exactly. I was
think
going to
that
say
that is
that.
a metaphor
He's
to-
a farmer.
to Clark to never give up.
Yep.
Like, even in this
He's a
dude's
farmer.
death, he's working.
So it's like, but where did that come from? Was Clark walking in there? It just didn't make any fucking sense to me. Like, you know,
And
where
it's
the
even
hell
that,
was he
like,
going?
later on, you know, Clark dies, supposedly. And maybe, he's fighting to come back. And that's the, you know what I mean? It's like, maybe that could tie it all together. But, like, I didn't need that.
Oh
like,
God, not that. Oh, they brought him back when he's talking to his dad.
No, I'm just saying
Comics.
that never give up, like, you know, like,
Mhm.
don't go towards the light type of thing.
Yeah.
You know, but
So-
I didn't need the parademons, and as cool as they were, I didn't need that scene. I didn't need any of that shit. To
I
kinda-
didn't need the nuclear missile scene.
And
Yeah.
Dark Knight Returns, though.
That was
Yeah, it was Dark Knight Returns. Totally.
that was more fan service.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
see, I was
It was
cool with
so. It
that.
was
I
so
like
that
that.
Actually,
you know,
and
and the sun re-energized him to
like
remind
that
you
part.
guys. And I gotta tell you right now,
that
if I
scene-
did not watch Superman, the Man of Steel before I watched this, I don't think I would have enjoyed it because I didn't like Man of Steel when I watched it a couple of years ago. But when I rewatched it a couple of days before I went there, I enjoyed Man of Steel, and then that made me enjoy a little bit more here.
I like Man of Steel a lot. Let me ask the Jays, do you like Man of Steel?
yes, I did like Man of Steel.
Yes.
Two
I
of,
did
two
like
of
it.
the three
Okay.
days.
I did. That was probably like a 7 in my book.
Okay.
So here's a character that we haven't touched on, and that would be Alfred. You know, I like to take who all watches Gotham? Does everybody watch Gotham or has
No.
watched Gotham?
No.
Bobby, you know?
Don't say I have to.
No. Well, no. Well, the only thing I was going to say is
It's not bad.
I
It's
like
not bad.
I like the take of Alfred in Gotham. I just watched I won't ruin anything for anybody. I just watched the pit fighting scene. I'll leave it there. Episode. I'm a couple episodes behind.
Wow, you're really behind.
Yeah, I'm 3 or 4 episodes behind. I'm keeping up with Hulu. Hulu hasn't flaked out of me yet, but you know, some of the aspects of that character I can see in the character that we get from in the movie, you know, and I love the line that Bruce says, something about we're criminals, we've always been criminals, nothing's changed or something like that. And the way he says it to Alfred, we're criminals, it tells me in this take that Alfred is just completely entrenched in what's going on.
Oh yeah, he's involved.
Whereas, you know, Michael Caine, who I thought did a fucking fantastic job of the Nolan trilogy.
Yeah, making breakfast.
Yeah, well,
Hey,
he was.
stop it.
And
He did it.
I'm not gonna allow any Michael Caine
making
attacks.
listen.
breakfast and giving him some pointers.
My
here.
only
He's an
problem-
English gentleman, sir.
And I love Michael Caine in that, and you know, at the end of the last movie when he sees Bruce, and it really chokes you up, you know, when it all comes together. But my only problem with Jeremy Irons playing that role is, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, there's no way he's old enough to play that role versus, you know, 45-year-old or however old Matt Damon is. Matt Damon, fuck. Matt Damon's butt buddy.
Damon.
Matt Damon's Batman.
Who thinks they should make Matt Damon Robin?
So let's.
Ben Affleck probably does. That is the next
No,
movie.
that would be
He's the director, right?
I would hate it, but love it at the same time.
Saw him for a little bit in Nightwing.
I went on a little bit of a Matt Damon movie spree. I watched The Martian, which I really enjoyed, and then I didn't even realize he was in what's the Interstellar? I didn't even realize he was in that. So
That's a great movie.
oh yeah, those were both really good. I really enjoyed the both of them, but I just can't see him playing any sort of role like that at this point. So I put in how old is, just to see how old Jeremy Irons is. But anybody want to guess what the first 3 things that pop up on Google when you type in how old is?
How old is the Earth?
Well, they're people, so it's 3
Oh.
people. Any guesses?
Silver Age?
No. The first one is Dolly Parton.
I would
The
never guess
second
that.
one is Donald Trump, and the third one is Zendaya. It's Zendaya. I think she's a Disney
she's a-
channel.
The Disney girl.
I
So-
like that people might be thinking, like, look, I'm thinking about voting for Donald Trump, but let me find out how old this motherfucker is.
And I'm thinking about thinking Dolly Parton's hot. She's 93.
Oh, nailed it.
Wow.
No, she's not 93.
Oh, I was like, shoo.
So Jeremy Irons is 67, which I did not know he was that old.
You know, what I thought was kind of cool is, like, you know, it wasn't just like Batman doing all this shit. He comes back to the Batcave, and there's fucking Alfred, fucking hands deep in
Yeah,
grease.
the mechanic and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
working
Yeah.
on shit
Yeah.
and telling him, like,
I think
And it-
Adam sold me on him. Like, I wasn't, like, I didn't have, like, a strong opinion about him one way or the other, but when Adam was, like, we finally get to see Alfred as a soldier in the war,
yeah.
I think that, like, struck a nerve for me, and I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm in.
So
And
I'm
he's
wrong.
like, you know what? I'm with you. When you're out there, I'm with you. You know?
I'm wrong because Jeremy Irons is 67 and Ben Affleck's 43. So it's a 24-year age difference. Sure, he could have started working for them when he, 30
Very
years ago. Whatever.
Very short tenure in the SAS or whatever it was. He was
Yeah.
Well,
But still,
Well,
it
might
can
have
work.
taken a tenure, but yeah, it works. It works better than I thought it did.
And
Because,
of course, you got the whole. We need someone to continue the chain. I want you to live a normal life. That's the Alfred everybody's used to. Master Wayne, get out there and have a life other than this. But then again, you turn around and he's fucking got his fucking fist up a fucking transmission trying to work on some shit.
And I
It was like,
And I
Maybe
still,
Batman and BvS is 35. Maybe he's not supposed to be in his 40s.
yeah, that's a good point. And I did,
35. I didn't look like that.
I did like that that Alfred was saying, like, he figured out the Superman bit, like, that this man is not our enemy. I love when Alfred plays the coach. Like, even in like Dark Knight Rises, when he's showing footage of Bane to Bruce, and he's like, "Look at him, the ferocity." This is a man that believes in what he's doing. Like, I love when Alfred plays that role with him.
Yo, he's gonna fuck you up.
Like a boxing coach, you know what I mean? Like,
you better do this, or he's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
You know,
Bringing
Batman back down to earth.
Yeah.
So like the
Whatever
Joker,
level.
when he said that with the Joker, like some people just want the force to burn.
Exactly.
He's trying to like, why is he doing this? There is no reason to do this.
Yep.
Some
Exactly.
people just want to watch the world burn. So, Bobby, you said boxing coach. If you enjoy Alfred as a boxing coach, I have one word for you. Actually, 3 words. Gotham on Fox.
Yeah, no, I know that he does do that. I know that he does do that. I just, like, the first season, man, I couldn't get past Jada Pinkett Smith.
I'm going to tell you, I skipped basically the first season. I watched about half of it, and then just they did a really good like
second
10.
season's better.
They did like a good 10-minute like recap that told you everything you needed to know, and the second season is so much better.
It's overacted. It's nonsense. It's TV, but it's okay. It's a watch.
Listen, if you're gonna
Look
watch
right here.
nonsense,
Just look right here. Just don't do it.
if you're gonna watch
But yet you watch Flash and the fucking
No,
Legends.
Flash,
watch-
yeah.
Arrow, which is the fucking worst fucking thing. But every fucking week,
Much better
from
than
Hulu, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
listen, I'm a big Arrow fan, and it is getting harder and harder.
I watched the first season of Flash, and it was a very hard watch for me.
The Flash
can't-
has gotten a lot better to me.
Yeah, Flash has got better.
Arrow is like the opposite.
Flash is getting really into the different dimensions and the Earths and all that shit, which I never thought that like your normal people like especially on CW, like your Smallville network would really be able to take it in and understand it. You know. So
want to understand it. I think that's a big problem. Like, I don't want, people don't want to think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So one thing that's bothering me about this whole DC thing, and Marvel did the opposite to an extent, is they're not taking the TV universe into account at all for the movies.
I think that's good.
See, I disagree. I think it should be, even if it's just a little bit of a teaser, And who knows, maybe in an Infinite Earths kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can fall back on it. It's Earth 15.
I don't think that it makes sense. And I haven't watched that much of it. I've only watched a few Arrow episodes, and I watched the Flash season 1. I've watched most of the first season of Gotham. I think that it doesn't, like, those worlds don't make sense in this DC world. And the fact that, like, I think that Superman is going to be a really big deal in this cinematic universe. Like, even that Suicide Squad trailer with you would think Superman's like a beacon to attract these weirdos out of the dark or whatever. Like, I think he's going to be pivotal, and I don't think it makes sense to have the Flash running around crazy and doing his thing while all this is going on. Like, it just doesn't work for me. So I'm happy to see it separate personally. But
Well, isn't that Superman is a beacon for Darkseid? That's why he's coming to Earth, isn't it? To take on the Kryptonian. He's the only thing that stands in his way.
He wants the
Well-
Kryptonian usually.
Yeah.
the bell's been
I
rung.
But
No,
I
yeah,
like the
I don't know
Superhero
much about the
Flash
comic book.
crossover
So, all right,
with
so
the multiverse.
you DC guys, tell me, why is Darkseid for the initial time coming to Earth? Like, I remember back in my day reading Darkseid. How I knew about Darkseid, there was a Marvel DC crossover, which had the X-Men and I'm trying to remember, Teen Titans or something like that, and it was Darkseid and Dark Phoenix. It was a Phoenix. It was kind of like a wrap up on there. So
Well, I'll set the stage real quick.
that's what I remember.
I'll let Victory Saber knock it down, because I think just looking at Victory Saber, he seems like a more astute gentleman than myself.
I don't think so.
But the Darkseid is like I mean, I don't know, that beard, man. That beard looks smart to me.
Oh, I'm just trying to be just too. That's all.
Yeah.
But anyway, follow Victory Saber's beard on Twitter, by the way.
I'm setting up the handle right now.
The Darkseid is like the big bad of the DC universe, and he comes from Apocalypse, and there's like he has the granny is there, and all the women, and then the hounds of hell and all that shit or whatever, and he is Thanos is a knockoff Darkseid.
Yes, I found that out afterwards.
and then I'm going to pass the
I
reins.
used to
I'm going
think
to
it.
pass the reins to Victory.
I used to think it was the other way around, but recently, at my age, I found that it was not that way.
As a general rule, Dust, if anything seems similar in the Marvel universe, DC did it first.
Yeah, but I'm sure Marvel had better
Deathstroke.
names.
Deathstroke, Deadpool.
All right,
Yep.
Marvel had better names. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think
Captain
we did.
America.
Captain Cold.
Yeah, I'm not saying DC names are great.
Oh, Captain Cold.
God,
that
sorry
dude.
about that guy.
Oh, you're
Go ahead,
right.
Victory Saber, explain it, because
Hey guys, I can't believe I made it to the hangout. Hey, I'm
Well,
hanging
there's
out. I'm hanging out, if you guys know what I mean.
Every time. I love that dude. That dude to me is the only reason why I watch Legends of Tomorrow is for that dude. Yeah, because Justice nailed it. Everything.
All right,
He even lost his hand too. That was pretty cool.
Jamie, you want to wrap up what Bobby was saying?
Oh, I don't know a ton about Darkseid. I just know that if he wants to recreate Apocalypse on Earth, doesn't he?
Yes.
And the only thing that's his stepping stone is, or in his way, is Superman. No one else can stand up to him. I mean,
So why does he have his eyes on Earth alone, where he has all these other different planets?
Well, because that's where the books are.
No, of
True.
course, yeah.
there you go.
So anyway, so he's not like a Galactus guy where he needs to conquer.
I mean, I'm sure that he has, like,
I don't know the dude, man.
domination.
The last time I hit him up, he didn't hit me back, so I'm just trying to
Yeah, well,
figure
like,
it out.
I've only read, to be honest, I've only read 2 books that he's a part of, like, in a big way. I'm gonna read Darkseid War. I just haven't had a chance to buy it yet. But I read Supergirl, which is a great book. It's written by Jeff Loeb, and who wrote The Long Halloween, which The Dark Knight is largely based off of. And and it's illustrated by Michael Turner, who draws skinny women with big breasts.
Yep.
And that's not to disrespect the man, that he's dead, may he rest in peace, and all that kind of stuff. Like he was a look. Now I feel like I gotta say something. Okay, look, he had terminal cancer, and you know what the guy did? He went on tour with his family around the continental United States, knowing that he was going to die, just to meet and do sketches for as many fans as he could. The guy's a fucking gentleman. So I don't mean to belittle his work, but he is known for his women. I didn't mean that as a dig. I had the pleasure of meeting him myself in Philly. Great dude. But anyway, I got a story for you guys after the show. He's a big part of that book, and he kind of warps Supergirl in that, and like he really wants Superman to be like a servant of his. Like that's like the ultimate dream for him, is to have a being of that power to be like his lapdog.
One of his generals.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
And to break him.
Yeah, exactly. So he breaks Supergirl, and then that kind of progresses. If you ever watched I think there was Apocalypse, right? That was the name of the DC animated movie.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's based on that book. So if you want to read that book, it's fucking fantastic. It goes.
So I even said about breaking Superman. Isn't that dream sequence that we saw with Apocalypse being?
Yeah,
that's where I believe
and Batman.
that came from.
And Superman having his troops.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Would that be being? So in that scene, like Superman was Darkseid's
a servant
bitch.
of Darkseid.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay,
That's where I believe that came from.
and this is just from me being not the.
That's where I think that flashback thing came from too.
Yeah.
All related.
Yeah, quite
Yeah,
possibly.
man, and that's fantastic, man. And you telling me that right now makes more sense. I understand where it was coming from, but now it makes more sense.
He was also in a book called Final Crisis. He was the big bad of Final Crisis. Final Crisis is like the last crisis. So there's a number of different crises. Like they started going crazy a little bit. It's like tennis shoe crisis. Is, like.
Well, I heard they were in infinite Earths.
Infinite identity.
All right, so yeah, and they kind of started taking the venom out of it, which is unfortunate. But like Identity Crisis is a great book, but it has nothing to do.
Venom was in there?
Right. It was a great book, but it has nothing really to do with the crisis kind of situation that goes on at DC. So there was Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is what created the multiverse and created the concept of the multiverse in comics as we know it. And then there was Infinite Crisis, which was like the sequel to it that came along like 20-some years later, and is also fantastic, written by Jeff Johns. It's great. Perez, I think, drew it. It's fantastic. And then there was Final Crisis, and Final Crisis is written by Grant Morrison. Now, I'm going to say this. I love DC, but I've read Final Crisis probably 4 or 5 times, and I have no idea what the fuck it is about. I can't understand it at all. Like, Grant Morrison is like hit or miss with me. Like, he's obviously brilliant, but he is a crazy son of a bitch, and like I think he outthought me on that, and I can't catch up. You ever hear like a record that comes out and you're like, this is shit, and then like 5 years later you're like, wait a minute, that's brilliant. It was just 5 years ahead of its time. Final Crisis is like that, except it's like 2,000 years probably ahead of its time. And like I don't get it. Grant Morrison takes all this shit. If you ever hear him talking, interview and stuff, like I treat comics seriously. I don't think they need to be aimed at just 8-year-olds and all that shit. Like I treat them seriously. But this guy acts like, you know, there was William Shakespeare and then there was Frank Miller. You know what I mean? Like, he thinks that this shit should be on a whole higher level, and sometimes that level is just way too high. But he blasts Batman with the Omega beams. Like, they're like beams that shoot out of his eyes, and it sends Batman through time somehow. And he's like a caveman drawing bats on caves or something. I don't get it. I don't pretend to get it.
Oh, wow. Shout out to DC.
Yeah, that's when it started getting crazy. And then Grant Morrison ended up writing a lot of New 52, and then that's kind of where DC.
So I guess the Mutant Massacre wasn't that bad then, considered to that. You know.
Massacre.
I don't know if I read that one.
Marvel versus DC. Let's do it.
All right, I like Marvel. Like to like one is not to dislike the other. But I do think that a lot of times DC doesn't get. I think that sometimes people think DC is square, like Marvel's edgy and DC is square. I mean, it's really the other way around, and that's being a fan and an avid reader of both.
And like,
but do you see DC always having to reinvent themselves like every 10 years? It seems like, just to redo a world or.
We're going to start it all over again. And then Marvel's doing it too. But
I think they do. I think Marvel does it too.
Like, yeah, of course they do.
But DC just they
really ran with that.
They did coin it, but I think they coined it to make sense of it. Like Marvel does it. See, I'm going to catch flack. People are going to be thumbing my videos down, and calling me an idiot. Just another day of being alive on the internet. But here's the thing. I think that Marvel does it because they get scared of the decisions they make, like revealing Peter Parker's identity to the world. Then they find a way to not make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they give you these big payoffs, and then like, well, wait a minute, like, but they don't do it on such a grand scale. So for some reason, they get a pass. Like when what was it? The Invasion. That was a Marvel book, big Marvel book.
Skrulls.
Yeah, and then you just find out that most of the important things that have happened in Marvel continuity weren't the real characters; they were Skrulls. That's just Marvel's way of washing away the past and retconning it.
See if the story worked out.
Exactly.
We got a bunch of new writers and artists. We got to fucking just clean house.
But they don't. For some reason, people don't ping them on that. They're just like, oh, what a fun adventure. But when DC does it, they're like, oh, we're redoing it. We're redoing it.
What a fun adventure.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we have
we're way above the limit.
longest we've ever gone.
Yeah, bringing some nerd rage to this bitch.
That's right. Full force. So let's we're gonna wrap it up here, go through and let everybody do their where you're at. So Bobby, where you at?
I'm on the interwebs on all the social media, but make sure you check out Nerd Rage Radio for one. It's a fun show. But make sure you check out Shattercast this Friday. Like, don't give up on us. Lenny and I will not give up on you.
All right, Bobby. Thanks again for coming on. We appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
We always have fun when you're on. Jay Ruse, where you at?
And we got no audio.
Can't hear Jay Ruse.
I'm muted because I was taking pictures.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
At J Ruse on the IG, which is the Instagrams, Cadaver_11 on the PS4 network, and the Facebooks under my alias.
Fuck J Ruse.
So we were boring you enough to go take pictures. Cool.
J Ruse is just looking for someone to dance with on Destiny. That's all.
I got plenty of people to dance with.
All right,
AKA
where
your
you
mom.
My mom doesn't dance since she lost her leg, but that's cool.
The alligator.
Fuck that bitch.
To Florida.
You guys can find me at Jbatron on Instagram and Facebook, and then also you can find me this week on Toy Detox.
Nice.
Baller!
Comes out, I think, usually Wednesdays or Thursdays or something like that.
So
Check them out.
Jisk has become the
Whore?
podcast whore of the toy
Whore?
collecting community.
Or
Yeah, I'm just saying, if ever, Shattered Cast needs a hand.
Yeah. Shadowcast needs a lot of hands these days.
It's all
But
about
that's
it's all about building a bench, Bobby. All right, up next, Silver Age. Where are you at?
hey, what's up, guys? Instagram Dust Mites. On the Realm of Collectors Facebook group, Eddie Dust Mites. And like I say, YouTube Dust Mites. My channel is dead, but I'm bringing it back. But I'm on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel, which you are watching right now. So please
Realm.
like, subscribe, send it out to everybody that's out there. Just fucking mass email it. Let's spam it up. Spam that shit up. And don't forget, Cobra Law Records, we have the Four Horsemen album that's dropping. I believe this is the plan. I don't want to just come out of nowhere. Alien Day. If you know and you listen to our music, Alien Day. That is where we're looking for to drop this shit. And
So that's 426 for any of you.
yes, the new video is supposed to drop. It's gonna be a WrestleMania inspired track. It's about the beef between what's his name, Heartbreak Kid and Bret Hart. Screwjob.
Nice.
Prelude to Screwjob that's going to be out, and we got a little video made by Bo. Bo's killing it, man. He's killing it with his fucking edits, so it'll be out. Fuck you and fuck you.
All right, so Jane, where you at?
Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Victory Saber 77, Facebook, the Victory Saber 77. Yay.
What about your show Saturdays?
Oh, I'm not no show this Saturday because
that's
the Comic Con. So,
but I mean, they can watch old episodes if they want, right?
yeah, you can watch the old episode. You can watch me
Yes.
have my patience with a young collector out there that pushed my buttons but didn't. So,
You know,
It's
he didn't
fun.
get you. He didn't get you. He didn't get you.
All right, so special shout out to Dan who left early to go to fucking trivia night. I hope you goddamn choke on some goddamn hot wings.
Wait, wait, trivia night? What do you mean?
What he just
it was
said.
a bingo night with his grandma.
So you can where am I at? I'm at Pinkerton on Instagram and in the Facebook groups as Christopher Pinkerton because that's what my mama named me. Shout outs to the Toy Detox crew, Brave, Swage, and Tyler. Shout out to Ronan at Toy Lab Friends on all your favorite social media. I'm gonna just leave names off here and say shout out to the Shattercast Uncut crew. Wherever
We love you guys.
wherever and whoever you may be.
Yeah.
As always, even though he's on here, shout out to Bobby and Adam on Nerd Rage. We talked about that earlier. Very entertaining stuff. Victory Saber, obviously, with Plastic Fanatics. I need to update my list. You know, people that are on the show. I don't need them on my shout outs.
Can I just jump
Don't
in?
think I'm freestyling people. I have a fucking note saved.
I'm not gonna jump in and say like everybody in the chat, but the chat is fucking crazy tonight, and thank you for everybody coming.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that
Absolutely.
we had a ton of new people in there.
I know
and
there's so many names, and I don't know if you guys want to do like a quick 2 minutes or something.
Did
Just
everybody seem to enjoy it? All positive?
it was like it was its own thing. Like the
Yes,
chat itself could be its own show.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to find a way we could capture it, but there's just no way. So I don't know.
Just to shout out some new people that I've seen, and it's not
Yeah,
to
just
take away
roll
from
call.
anybody who's always in there. You guys know we always shout you out, but Breaking Bad was somebody I saw that I haven't seen before. I don't think. Trans 5 is in there, and I think he's been in here once or twice before, but I think he's from your neck of the woods, right, James?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mine as
but,
well. Mine. Shout out to Trent.
Zoo City 2306 said it was his first time watching the show, so thank you. We appreciate it. The good old Yule. Yule's in the
Yule.
chat.
Yeah, yo.
What up, yo?
People right there. It's good
Let me get
people.
some of that flash money, yo.
Cheers.
He said it was his first. He didn't even realize he could type in the chat. He said he's a noon, but I think he meant to say he's a noob.
Yeah. He's a noon, all right. He's a noon.
Frank K showed up, so thank you. And there was somebody else. Bulkhide. Somebody I've never seen before. So again, thank you for all the usual people we have in there. We appreciate it, and then all you new guys checking us out. We really,
Night Wiggum says ROC needs a comic show.
All right, so don't forget to send in your what's in the fucking box videos and your shelf lives, and those go to
EnterTheRealmCast@gmail.com.
follow the Realm of Collectors on Twitter at Enter the ROC.
Realm.
Our Facebook group is Realm of Collectors. It's a closed group, but we'll let you in unless you're selling sunglasses or sneakers. Because I'm the only one that gets to sell sneakers in there. Sorry,
Yeah,
Tyler.
but the sneakers that they're trying to sell is nothing.
I know, they're high heel Air Jordans.
Yes.
Instagram at Realm of Collectors. We are climbing the ladder there on the followers and always posting the news that you need to look at. Our website. Dude, I got a list. I'm scrolling down.
Sorry, I
Here.
don't know if it was
Our list. Our list. Our website.
I thought you should just wing it every week.
www.realmofcollectors.com. Realm. REALM, Realm of Collectors. If you want to join the party here, it's simple. Just tag Realm of Collectors on social media, and we'll find you. We really appreciate the community. I think we've done a fantastic thing. Basically building an awesome community for people to nerd out.
It's in all venues. Man.
Absolutely. Just a heads up, this Saturday night, right, Dust? Saturday night.
What's up?
BotCon special.
Oh yes, we're definitely going to do something this Saturday.
So we should have a show. Probably go ahead and do a live broadcast Saturday night. BotCon is this weekend. I know we've got some boots on the ground representing the ROC.
Yes.
And some of them we're going to have a lot of media up for that. Shout out to B Swartzberry. Shout out to Primal Sabbath. I'm sorry, there's a couple other guys that reached out to me that are going to help
Bricks
out.
is going to be there. Kenny's going to be there. Kenny Prime, Bricks on the Dollar. So hopefully we'll let something going together. Maybe we'll do even Transform Bro BotCon edition.
That's right. Exactly. So hang out, Dust, in
Give me about 15, 20 minutes.
15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So
let me take a piss, eat a little something, and come back and set this up. So
we're on that Plastic Fanatics time.
Yeah.
I
So
gotta tell you this Michael Turner story real quick before I get
all right, guys. Thanks for watching. We always appreciate everybody who comes and checks us out. Whether you're watching this live, if you're listening on iTunes or whatever platform your Android device does, and or if you're watching on YouTube later. So thank you for joining us tonight. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you were here with us, and we appreciate that. See you on the Hangout.
Motherfuckers.
Bitches.
Masterpiece Shockwave actually fits in a combiner hand.
He fits in your ass, too.
I like that.